Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back finally to the TNT podcast episode.
I can't help you on this one. It's been way too long.
So
It's
long.
been a hot minute. Um, sorry for the continued missings of podcasts. Basically, Friedman was traveling international, and you know that eats into a lot of
one
stuff.
week.
Well, no, that was last week, but I mean the week before. What was it like? I wasn't feeling good, or Tyler was busy, or something. And
No,
it was
Tyler was watching Endgame.
That's what it was. Yeah. And you were, and I was, yes, because we were gonna maybe do a magic cast, and you were like, why don't I just get ready for my trip? Episode 75. That's what we're on.
There we go. Damn, we're moving along.
Yep. But we are going to blow through a bunch of news because at the end we are going to dive into our Endgame reviews and discussion. There's going to let's just for.
It's only 2 weeks late.
Well, I mean.
It's fine. We have to let people
I was hoping
get spoiled so we don't ruin it for people.
I was also
see, 'cause
hoping
we're not
to have
dicks.
seen it again by now, but
Oh,
it
I
hasn't
seen that
worked
shit
out.
twice already.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, but Val either said no or we were busy.
That's fine. There's so many memes I've already re-experienced the movie 100 times. At this
Yeah,
point.
right. More or less.
Just in case anyone somehow doesn't want to hear our discussion later, just my one-word review is: why would you see this if you haven't seen the others? But if you care, then you've already seen it. So
It's long for a one-word review, but okay.
I said, did I say word? I meant to say sentence. No, it's just a lot of dashes. It's one word. Do you guys? I liked it. Do you guys like it?
I liked it.
Okay.
I mean, it was okay.
Despite
like
the
really
blatant
okay.
thing.
Like more than okay. Like very good.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my pre thing.
Yeah. So go see it if you haven't already somehow, or if you care, you already did. But anyway.
And once you've seen it, click on the timestamp link below and listen to our discussion later this evening.
Yes, we will have discussion at the entire topic. We're gonna blow through a bunch of news, starting with, as always, magic. A whole bunch of kerfuffles and stuff happened over the past 2 weeks, but honestly, we shouldn't get that deep into it. First off, Magic's Pro League is having a number of issues right now. About, what was it, Freeman? Like a week and a half ago, over the weekend, the previous weekend, right?
It was a little over 2 weeks ago. They were having one of the big streaming events.
Yes. One of the. Oh yeah, it was. Wasn't it Championship London or whatever?
It was. I think was it Mythic Championship 1 or something.
So, yes, it was the first Mystic Championship. Yuya Watanabe, I think.
Yes, that's the correct pronunciation.
Cool. Basically the most famous player from Japan for years and years now. He was playing a deck called Tron in Modern, which is a tier 1 deck, and in like top 8 of the entire tournament, he got pulled and disqualified for marked sleeves. And there was this huge back and forth where his sponsor was like, that's crazy, but we're going to release pictures. And everyone was like, this is insane, because he's been such a big player for years and years, and he's like one of, if not the biggest player from Japan. And lo and behold, his sponsor, some Japanese store, put out pictures, and it's hard to mark sleeves so intentionally looking.
I mean, I saw them and I didn't think they looked intentionally marked. The only thing that was like the giveaway is that essentially, so with his deck, there's 3 sets of 4 cards that are important.
Yeah.
And of those cards, they were marked similar to each other. And that's the only thing that makes me say, okay, this is intentional. Because otherwise, a lot of it looked just like folded corners, which I get randomly on certain sleeves.
But
from
in this
shuffling
case,
like an asshole.
I think out of the 3 sets of 4, like, it was 3 of one, 3 of one, and 1 of another all had the bend in the corner and nothing else. And so...
But on top of that, he re-sleeved in the middle of the tournament.
Yeah,
with a brand new, fresh out of the pack sleeves.
Yeah, and the sleeves, I believe, Freeman, were supposed to have been provided by Wizards or whoever ran the tournament.
Like it wasn't. He had to have marked them at the tournament while he was playing.
Yeah. So it's pretty damning, and Wizards finally announced their decision. This guy is banned from officially sanctioned play for 2.5 years, is out of the MPL, which is the Mythic Pro League, which is Wizards' esportsy team kind of thing that their system they're putting together. And he's been kicked out of the Magic Hall of Fame.
Oof.
So
The big oof.
talk about
The biggest.
so a lot of people, even now, like apparently for obvious reasons, a lot of people who looked up to him are kind of still defending it and being like, oh, maybe it was sabotage or something. But most people have kind of accepted that Wizards wouldn't have absolutely scorched earth like this unless they talked about in their article about it, like looking at old videos or something and talking to the like every judge who looked at these things during the tournament and everything. So clearly they felt they had enough evidence to fully scorched earth this, which is just crazy. But then just I think it was like 2 days ago, Jerry Thompson, a very famous high up Magic player in North America, who actually, I think we talked about it. He is also the guy who didn't go to the World Cup of Magic this past year because he was protesting how shitty a job Wizards has done in a lot of ways of handling like higher tier players and other aspects of the actual like organized play of the game, not so much the cards and everything. He was a member of the MPL and he voluntarily stepped out and said he basically I didn't listen to his podcast, but the gist of it seems to be he accepted the invite to the MPL because he believed that he could provide feedback to Wizards and help make things different from inside the MPL, and he is now left saying that he still felt completely unlistened to, and apparently all those players still are half in the dark in terms of what is happening. So
yeah, Jerry has been like the voice of the everyman Magic player for a while now.
Yeah.
He's the guy who goes to the card shop and just wants to play Magic, and
Yeah.
he just happens to be good at it. But
this is now the second
people...
case of him putting his principles like way ahead of everything else. Like going to the World Cup, obviously a big deal. The Magic Pro League, all these 32 players earn like a $75K salary and have like streaming deals and all this other stuff. So he basically gave up one of the, if not the best paying Magic professional job.
Way to fucking throw everything on the ground like that, dude.
But he kept his ideals, and that's what matters.
Wow, you can get bent.
Let's move on. We're spending too much time on that.
Well, no. So the last bit about the MPL that kind of is still an ongoing thing. Wizards then.
Pony? Yeah, let's
I know. Wizards then announced the two replacement players. One of them is like some guy like Skaz something, some streamer who started streaming Magic 6 months ago apparently. And I unfortunately can't remember her name. It's not intentional, but one of the top female players from Australia. They were both invited, and there's been a lot of talk now because Wizards even admitted in the article this is not about getting the best players in the world. This is a diversity move, basically, to pull in a streamer who has streamed other things. Apparently, he was recently playing a lot of auto chess on stream instead of Magic, and the first female in the MPL. And so there's a lot of Wizards admitting this is for diversity, and a lot of the top-end pros, Freeman, you can probably even understand, you might have even seen Reed Duke, even one of the most neutral and well-respected players, one of the few people I actually watch sometimes. Even he tweeted out like this really kind of not emotional but honest tweet about how spending hundreds and hundreds of hours alone studying the game of Magic to be one of the best players in the world, and then someone who streams the game at a decent but not super high level and someone who is admittedly a diversity pick, who's still a good player from all accounts, but not like world class compared to numerous other people above her who got basically skipped over just because she's a girl.
The fact of the matter is there's a huge misunderstanding that everyone's looking at the Magic Pro League thinking that the word pro stands for professional. It stands for promotional. This is the Magic Promotional League.
Yeah.
This is Wizards' biggest face in advertising the game. They don't give a shit how good you are. They just give a shit how good you are on camera.
Well, that's kind of the I think that is a conclusion a lot of people are
That's
coming
the sentiment
to
that
after
everyone's
this.
coming to, is that this is just it's not.
But then it sucks because
Yeah.
already, like, Wizards has never been clear since this was established like 6 months ago how you actually get picked for this thing, if there's any direct way to get in, who gets picked by what, like, and it more as time has gone on, like, it doesn't seem like this is like a league esport or anything like that where the best players get signed. No, this is Wizards picks people who will help sell their game. And a lot of people, and especially it seems like pros, are kind of getting really frustrated because how are you supposed, like, how is there any path to being a professional Magic player when it's not about being a great player, it's about being someone who can sell the game and make it interesting on camera?
Yeah, Wizards has failed to define what the what the professional path is. What are you
Yes.
actually working towards? Because without that, no one's going to try.
Yeah, and that's the issue that a lot of people are having now. I almost wonder if, like, Star City Games kind of got a boost out of this by being like, people going to their tournament structure, because they don't have any super stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But either way, it's just Wizards has, it's like everything lately, the cards have been amazing for a while. Like, the last few sets have been home runs in terms of cards. War of the Spark is great. And Wizards is terrible at everything else.
See, Magic is great. Wizards is just bad at Magic.
It's so bad. You know what? Let's not even talk about the Mythic Edition stuff. We already talked about Magic enough.
Let me just put my one little quip in about Magic. I was so excited for War of the Spark release. I'm like, this is amazing. We have a Planeswalker set. But then it didn't hit me. That means we now have Planeswalker Standard, and I fucking hate playing against decks that have like 4 Planeswalkers on the field at once.
That certainly seems to be what it is like.
It's like non-Super Friends decks that play like Super Friends decks, and I can't stand the shit. So that's going to be standard for the next year.
You know, it's bad when Elder Spell is very sideboardable, or if not, even main deckable.
It's main board tech now. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's talk about something that Tyler can get engaged with.
Hey, I love this shit too. But yeah.
I know you're going to talk about it too. I'm the one who's the least engaged among the three of us when it comes to The Witcher.
I did not hear this, though.
We're talking about The Witcher.
Yes.
Oh, it's just actually pretty cool because, side note, before we get to it, I beat The Witcher.
Oh, nice. Shit, you actually beat it?
I beat that, and I beat Hearts of Stone, and I beat Blood and Wine.
Well, see, that was the question, because like a week and a half ago, you were like, Tim, I beat Witcher. Now I got to play the expansion. I'm like, you didn't beat Witcher. You beat the base game.
Yeah, now I beat.
So, Tyler, how's retirement?
Oh, man, it feels... Oh, it feels nice.
Dude, you had feels, though, right?
But there's a part of me that longs for me to go back. That's how it is.
Oh, it's such a good ending. Such a strong ending.
Actually, what was interesting about it, especially Blood and Wine, I got a bad ending.
What?
But it didn't feel like a bad ending.
There's multiple endings to Blood and Wine?
Yeah, dude.
Wait, shit, I gotta look this up while you talk.
Well, sounds like Tim didn't beat Witcher 3.
No. I think I got, if I did, I definitely got a good ending, but...
Yeah, if you did, I'll tell you what I got.
Oh,
after the podcast.
Oh, no. I was thinking of the actual retirement, not the ending of like the storyline. I got the good ending.
Oh, yeah.
I got everybody's alive.
Oh, I did not.
Damn.
I did not. But it was good up until a certain point. And I was like, oh. But even then, it was like, oh, it's not like the worst thing that could happen. I learned that there are even worse things that could happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly
Netflix
what mine was.
actually airing The Witcher.
Oh my God,
Tyler!
And it's getting a release date of December 20th.
I actually did not see this release date anywhere, so I'm kind of
it's hot off the presses. This is hot news.
So here's my strategy. I'm gonna watch this first, then I'm disappointed, and then play the game so it feels better.
Oh, dude.
If I play the game first, I'm just gonna hate this show. Like I want to be the guy on our podcast who watches this blind, so I can give you like the I'm not a Witcher fan's perspective on the Witcher show.
Okay.
You know, I
Then you
actually
gotta
kind of
play the
like that
game, though.
idea. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I know I do want to play the game, but
You
like
super need to.
honestly, I don't think I have time to start and finish it before this comes out.
It's entirely possible. You're
I
not
might
wrong.
just hold off and play Witcher during like the holidays
That's a good plan.
and
That's
just
probably a good
marathon
idea.
this.
Speaking of shows that might be disappointing, don't worry, Game of Thrones fans. We're gonna spend all next week talking about that show after it finishes airing.
Mm-hmm.
I was originally outvoted in terms of doing both of those this week, but I think
'Cause
it's better to just focus on Endgame, and then next week we'll have the show done, and we can talk about all of Game of Thrones.
Longtime listeners will know that we struggle coming up with topics, so the most that we can milk out of two separate topics, we totally will.
Exactly.
Yup.
Anyway, Witcher show. I can't believe you guys are like kind of not super.
What?
I don't know. You
What?
sound
What?
pretty like expectant that this is gonna suck.
Oh, dude, man, when they first started talking about Megan, all right,
So-
listeners, I'm not a racist. Please save the hate mail.
Oh,
Here we go.
By me saying this, you already know what I'm about to say, Tim. They're already fucking with the whole like Siri needs to be of a different race, and I'm like, okay, now you're getting into some shit that ain't right. Number one, this book series is Polish. All right, everybody's white. But and like there's already like some racist stuff like you're already worrying about the racism between the elves and all this other stuff.
It
You're
wouldn't be
literally gonna
so-
throw in another thing into here now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so bad if the show literally doesn't go, "Hey, racism is real fucking strong against the elves all the time."
And then they made like a thing where it's like, oh yeah, like Ciri's like, or not Ciri, Yennefer's like Middle Eastern or something like that. But I'm like, but the books and the games already have a Middle Eastern race, and I feel that they're like the looks play a huge role. There's the promotional. There was a promotional poster that actually came out today, and like
I need to find this.
Geralt doesn't have. I should find it for you. It's not in the thing that
I'm just
that I
looking at
have up in
images.
front of me.
Let's see.
Yeah, but like he doesn't even have any scars on his face or
Yeah, there's no
anything like
beard
that.
action either.
And this is supposed to take place like
That's not Henry
around like in the
Cavill, is it?
books when he first like meets Ciri.
May 4th? No, this is old. Fuck. Where's something from today?
I gotta find it because I have the
Time.
my
There we go.
yeah my buddy sent me a picture, but like it was like a screen cap, and like I found like an article today. I was like, ah, fuck, I'm just gonna get the.
I keep seeing this thing with a scar on his left eye over and over when I Google Witcher Netflix images.
Oh, you see one with him?
I see
With
it
the
with.
scar?
It looks like
Wait.
Henry Cavill with a scar on his left
They
eye.
actually released one with a picture with his left eye visible.
Well, that's what I'm
They- yeah,
saying.
they
His
did.
left eye like covered in shadows.
Yeah, that's the old image. That was from like that super
Yeah, that
teaser
was that
forever
trailer
ago.
image. Yeah.
Oh, now you can kind of see
But
one.
no. This can't be the right image because he's got a full white beard going on, and the original image didn't have that at all. Yeah, this is. I don't know what this is.
I think it might be an edit.
Witcher Netflix and series gets a leaked release date. Oh, who cares? Look at this.
So
person
here's the thing: as someone who knows jack shit about Witcher, my
Oh,
only
here we
concern
go,
was
Tim. I
Those
found it.
original images, the wig didn't look that great. So
Nope,
if they can
sure
clean up
didn't.
and post,
Here,
I
I'm
won't
gonna
have a
post
problem
it
with
in
that.
the Discord.
Cool.
I mean, it's a completely like heavily edited like,
Yeah, it's pretty heavily
Picture.
edited, but man, I mean,
but like that's what he's supposed to like look like though.
look, if they can make the wig look fine in post, I'll enjoy this. I won't dislike
All
it from the onset.
all I have to ask is what purpose does it serve by not having him have the classic goatee?
Okay, then here's another one I found. Here's another image I found.
This seems like an artist
Why?
rendering.
I
Are
don't
you sure
know.
this is a leaked picture, Tyler? That looks
Okay,
like someone
never mind.
edited like.
Never mind, I found a better one. I found a better
That seems
one.
like a bot. See, that is the one that
found
I
a better
saw.
one.
You
That's the
son
one
of a.
I Look,
That's
if
the
he
one I
looks
saw.
like the second
Sorry.
picture you posted,
Sorry.
this
Yes.
will be fine.
If it's the second one, fine. But why were they then showing him with the shitty wig and no goatee? If there's this image with him with a goatee and much better
So-
looking hair.
So I have an explanation. There's this conspiracy theory going around that
Oh.
media companies have found that controversy draws discussion.
Get
So what they do is they'll put out something that may be controversial and then fix it up for later because it got people talking. And as I'm sure both of you can tell, I'm transitioning into our next story.
Oh yeah, this is a story and a fucking half
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah. So this was what was it? It was the night before Tyler went to go see Endgame.
Yeah, night
Where-
before the podcast.
Right
was
before the
supposed to
podcast,
happen.
and Tyler's like, "I'm so mad after watching the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
It's
I
like,
actually want to skip Endgame and yell about this shit on the internet."
yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, for real, though, that shit. Wait, we didn't even put that here, did we?
What,
We didn't talk about the Sonic trailer.
bro? Look at the fucking show notes.
Oh, shit.
We're talking about it right now.
Oh, we're talking about it
Yeah.
right now. Dude,
Yeah.
oh my god. That, talk about a shit show. Talk about, like, an actual shit. Like, that,
For anyone who didn't see the Sonic trailer, and knowing our audience, everyone,
everyone saw it. We all know you saw it.
holy
Dude,
crap!
when
this
we were
is-
home 2 weeks ago, even my dad threw it on the TV and saw it like while we were hanging out at night.
oh my god,
I just want to know one thing. Put all, like, the bad CG, put all, like, just throw all that other shit away. Tell me why Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise was the
Yeah.
backdrop to the, like, once I heard that opening chorus note that, like, I've been listening to since the 90s, I'm like, wait a second. What is this? And then it was literally just downhill from there. I'm like, nothing, and not any of this so far makes me want to see it. Like, let's look at this objectively. Like, what does any of this have to do with Sonic? Honestly, like, the only thing I see is, like, Dr. Eggman, who ain't even fat. It's just Jim Carrey. And I don't know about you guys. I'm over Jim Carrey right now. I think
At
his
least-
time is over.
At least Jim Carrey's
It
back
seems
to
like
being his,
90s Jim
cinematic weird as opposed to real life weird that he was
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, I like, this is the thing that no one wanted. Just like Detective Pikachu, no one wanted this.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are comparing Jim Carrey to Ryan Reynolds, actually, in terms of one person carrying an entire weird movie. But in this case, it's like Jim Carrey's going to make Sonic funny enough to tolerate, whereas Ryan Reynolds was like, hey, I'm willing to go try weird-looking Pokemon if in exchange for PG-13 Deadpool.
I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I can't support
I'm not
this.
saying I care. Look, I'm not going to go see this. I know lots of people who are like, it looks so bad, I got to go see it right away.
Yeah, that's what my friend said. I'm like, no, this
No.
is what they
I-
want. This is
I
exactly
will not
what they
see
want.
bad movies. I'll see movies that have potential. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna see Detective Pikachu in the next week or so because I think it might be
I've heard
decent.
pretty decent things.
Sonic the Hedgehog so far has absolutely nothing in it I want to see. I just want
Look,
to see the memes that people make about it. and
Even
that's good enough for me.
if they redesign, so this is the sub story, is that
Yeah,
within a
they
week of the
redesign
trailer
it.
coming out, the director's like, we hear that everyone fucking hates this. We're gonna redesign Sonic in 5 months before this movie comes out. It's like,
I-
yeah,
I
fucking
loved
right.
it. And that was 48 hours after
Yeah.
they.
I said a week,
posted
but
that
yeah, it was
trailer.
pretty soon after.
Was it a week? It felt very soon.
It was only a couple days. So I remember
was-
hearing about the redesign during the weekend. While
Okay.
Yeah,
That came out on
I remember
Monday.
it was like.
It was by
When
the
I
weekend
saw-
after.
Nah, I remember it was. I saw that shit on a Tuesday, and I swear to God, I think it was like a Thursday, because it was
It's
like
entirely possible.
a day we weren't doing it, and like I forget what I was doing. I think I was actually looking for new stuff, or I was looking for Sonic stuff to look for my friends for, and I saw like it was little breaking news
Yeah.
like the
makes
moment I
sense.
saw it. I was like,
Either
oh,
way,
man.
all they can do is really minor changes. There's no way you can like completely. I mean, I can't imagine how overworked these artists are gonna be, but
Dude, I feel really bad for them. I feel bad for them.
you know what I wish?
And-
All I wish was one of the artists, like so many people along the way thought this was horrifying. There's
Yeah.
no way it's an internet-only idea that this looked fucking terrible and
Yeah.
creepy. So I
and
really
they probably
wish.
got to the finished product and
Yeah.
they were like, "Well, we gotta."
No.
fix the
But what
finish
I'm
it."
hoping, I I know it's not
conspiracy theory time.
No,
Let's
no,
do it.
No, I know there's conspiracies out there that are like, oh, we knew this was gonna look like shit. We already have the second Sonic ready to go to make everybody happy. No, what I wish was the case is I wish some of the animators rigged up their own model on the side and can kind of toss it in, like, and be like, hey, how does this look? Like, the thought that whoever made this fucking movie, apparently Sega wasn't happy with it from day one. And another part of this is the Sonic creator, or the original designer of Sonic, tweeted, like, thank God the internet got this to change. It looked terrible. Something like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. What's his name? Yuji Naka. Unfortunately he's not on Sonic Team anymore. But I trust his opinion more than anything.
But I've heard that Sega has been super unhappy with this design, and apparently was even before this trailer came out.
Yeah, this one's 100% on
whoever the production
Also,
yeah, probably.
What happened to his design? This is nothing like what he looked like originally when they first showed that poster.
Dude,
what I'm willing to bet is it made it easier to do motion capture like this, so they just went like this.
What's the worst part? The eyes, the teeth, or the feet, or the hands?
So Sonic the Hedgehog has a long history of weird teeth. If anyone played Sonic Adventure 1, when they did lip syncing, Sonic's lips and teeth were both rigged separately when he spoke. So it's the most jarring shit to watch Sonic. No. I'm talking about from the fans' perspective. This is like an ongoing joke that Sonic has a teeth problem. So seeing in this trailer was just funny to see that joke like come up again.
But there's a difference between just weirdly animated like block of teeth and individual human teeth. I'm pretty sure Sonic has never had segmented human teeth before.
No. I'm not saying
that's not even what a hedgehog's teeth look like.
That's why I said it's a human mouth. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think the hands are the worst part, though.
Yeah, like, why is he not wearing gloves?
Get the fuck out of there with these creepy
why isn't he wearing gloves? Why isn't he wearing, like, the oversized...
If Pikachu can wear a Sherlock Holmes hat, then Sonic the Hedgehog can wear fucking gloves.
Why are his arms blue? Explain this to me.
Why does he have two eyes? I don't get this.
Why has he got two eyes? Look at every box on the Sonic boxes. He only got one eye.
You pull the eyes together, you make the teeth a solid thing, and you put gloves on them. Bada bing, bada pop.
That's an abortion. And you know what, though? I'll tell you something. I'm probably not gonna watch Detective Pikachu, but I'll say this. Just like how Game of Thrones this season is making me consider on reading the books, Sonic is making me even consider looking at Detective Pikachu.
Wait a minute, you want to go read Game of Thrones now?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I'll save that for next week.
Okay, whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm detecting some salt.
No. It's not salt. It's not salt. I already read through those books that are out so far, and I'm not reading the next one.
That's fine.
That's fine.
But it'll probably be better paced than this garbage that I'm watching. Yeah.
Tim, press X to doubt. Let's move on.
Press X to doubt. Move on.
Is this even that much?
Monopoly.
I threw this one on here. This one's really
fresh.
Weird. So this morning, Disney announced they are now the majority owner of Hulu. They have 66%
66% holding, and 100% of the operations is run by them.
30% is now still on Comcast. So all the current cable shows around there will stay, but Comcast can pull out in the next 12 months.
I thought it was
Disney. Go ahead.
No, I thought I read that there's also a deal by 2024. Disney can buy them out to take full control.
Yes, that's buyout all of Hulu, but that doesn't mean buying out Comcast.
Oh no, not Comcast. I just mean Hulu.
Yeah, they can buy out the entirety of it. But Disney did announce this isn't conflicting with their plans for the Disney streaming service.
Yeah, because all their R-rated shit.
Yeah, some stuff's gonna go on the Disney one, some's gonna go on Hulu. Translation: you're gonna double dip for all the content.
Damn, I feel like this is a crime.
This is. They are so close to a media monopoly, it's not even funny.
I feel like this is actually kind of ridiculous. I don't like this. So now people are going to be paying for Hulu, and it's you got to pay for Disney too. And they're both getting those profits, basically.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
that.
All I know is that maybe it's time to fucking pay for, instead of paying for all these services, pay for a fucking VPN and start sailing, because holy shit, is this painful.
I mean, I get Hulu free from what's it called, Spotify. So I'm
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
you get
particularly
Hulu from
angry, but at the
Spotify.
same time, I'm not happy that Disney controls the world.
I mean, if you know how to navigate, you can like,
If you know how
get
to
stuff.
surf,
If you know how to surf, yeah. I mean, if you got a Spotify Premium, you can not only get Spotify Premium, you get Hulu, and it's like with Amazon, you get a ton of shit with Amazon Prime. Like that's another one. So it's
so
like,
real quick, I'm gonna use 30 seconds to advertise my favorite YouTube channel. There's this dude who does just these dumb speeches. His name's Nakey Jakey, and he
oh
did a
god,
Oh
video
yeah.
on the history of just like pirating music. And he was just making fun of how you used to be able to download LimeWire Pro through regular LimeWire, and something about you talking about download like just cheating your way into Spotify Premium reminded me of this.
yeah, dude.
Go watch his videos; they're very funny.
I remember those days. Do you guys remember those days?
Of
Did
just
you
going
ever
on
take?
LimeWire and like praying to God the song you download is actually the song you're downloading.
I was basically perfect, except for like maybe once or twice. I didn't get viruses. I got oh my god, where it was like an audio clip of like Bill Clinton.
Yeah. Oh my God, he references that in the video where
Yeah.
half the songs are just I did not have sexual relations
Relations with
Oh,
with
that
that
woman.
woman.
Yeah, and I'm
Not
like,
the
ah
woman.
shit. Because I
It's like getting
normally,
rickrolled.
yeah, but that's when I learned though. I learned to like, because you could also check the file like later on with like LimeWire. You could what's it called? Check the file source.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, if you were smart, you could avoid all the bullshit. But more often than not, you got trapped. Anyway, let's move on.
That was very quick.
I mean, it was real quick. It's just that Disney's got their shit.
Disney owns the world.
All right, hold on. Do we want to do a quick pause for Tylerino here?
What? Oh.
Said he's getting got. Hold up.
I mean, he probably doesn't give a shit about this next one.
Yeah, but I want everyone to give a shit about the next one. So Persona
Freeman, no one's gonna
5,
give a shit about this except you.
the
It's
Persona
fine, but...
5 media blitz continues.
Oh my god.
After the absolutely abysmal announcement that Persona 5S was Persona 5 Strikers, some like Hyrule Warriors-esque shit, we
Yeah.
finally got more news about Persona 5 Royal. They showed off a new member of like your protagonist team, who everyone suspected she was going to be like an enemy. It turns out she's an ally. As per usual, there was another Kotaku-esque controversy about whether her outfit was too sexual. It's not. She's wearing a standard gymnast uniform. I fucking hate the internet. Anyway,
No way.
on top of that, they're all right. So, do you guys give a shit if I spoil a very minor aspect of
Hell
Persona 5?
no.
So the cat mascot Morgana, the entire time you go through the game, he like kind of hints at the fact that he used to be a real person, but now he's stuck as a cat. And when you get to the end of the game, you find out he's always been a cat, and that was a fake memory. But in the screenshots, they're showing off this new male character you're hanging out with,
Hey, is it a cat?
who looks an awful lot like the cat would if he was a person.
Oh my god.
But they keep referring to him as the mysterious new male character, and everyone's like, "We fucking know it's Morgana. Like, stop beating around the bush." But it's been 3 weeks of promos about this mysterious character, and it's like you're doing a terrible job keeping this a secret. But that's it. They're gonna trickle out information every fucking day till this launches. I think it's end of the year in Japan, date unknown for US. I'm guessing
Date
February or March is
unknown.
gonna come out probably, because the
Who
releases are not
knows?
too offset for Atlas. But look forward to that. I have two friends who bought Persona 5 at $20 because it just went on sale for like part of the greatest hits collection.
Mhm.
And then the day after it goes on sale, Persona 5 Royal gets announced. And my friend just looks at it and he's just like, "Nah, what do I do now? Do I play this game now or wait for like the definitive version in a year?" And it's a tough question. And
Yeah.
I'll be able to answer that because I'm probably gonna play this one too.
Oh my god, Freeman, it already
I
took
don't
you
have-
1,000 years to finish the last one.
Yeah, but now I don't have to like full complete everything. I just need to full
You're
complete the new stuff.
gonna. Come on.
No, maybe. Just maybe. Just possibly.
Freeman, you play video games. If you're going for it, you're gonna go all the way.
I know. That's why I'm having such a hard time with Final Fantasy X, because I realize how many hours it is to fully complete that game,
Oh man.
and I don't want to do it. I just want to beat this game to say I've beaten Final Fantasy X. I'm enjoying it. But the problem is, if I start any of the long ass endgame shit, I'm gonna be playing this game for another 100 hours. Like,
You're correct.
I'm not 15. I don't have this kind of time anymore.
Yeah, it's. I've been. We'll get into it in the weeks. I've been playing a lot less games lately, but we'll get to that.
Is Tyler back? I know he's really angry about the next topic.
Is he really?
He is. You know what? I'll change the order so he'll
Yeah,
be
let's
back
skip
by the
that.
time.
Yeah, look at. Hey,
Yeah.
look, more Persona news. Wow.
So since we're talking about Persona, let's just dump into the entire section I have labeled Nintendo. So while we're gone, Joker released for Smash. I haven't played Smash since Joker came out, so I have nothing more to say about that other than that
It happened.
People have just been making memes that Bayonetta is probably Joker's mom just because they look alike.
Oh my.
And I love this meme. It's great. But on to, this news is even a meme itself. So we always talk about how the Nintendo Directs just kind of happen, and everyone just speculates it's always going to be next week, every week.
God.
But Nintendo went and they put some hard dates on a couple of their Directs. First of all, there's one tomorrow, and the focus of the Direct is Super Mario Maker 2, which I think is just like the enhanced remake for Switch.
I thought this is a whole new game. Like, isn't it?
I mean, how new can you make it? It's
Well,
like,
I mean, yeah, there's lots of the same assets, but
Yeah.
I
yeah, it's technically a new game, but it's
Yeah.
just like it feels like it's just gonna be an enhanced remake. Regardless, Mario Maker 1 was really fun. People got really creative.
people went fucking
never-
crazy.
Underestimate creativity. The Overwatch
Or the
Workshop
internet.
has been great. The entire game series, Little Big Planet, like 99% of my fun was just playing the crazy custom maps people would come up with.
Dude, you mentioned the Overwatch Workshop. I have seen like a shocking number of posts get near the top of Reddit of people making tweaks to that game.
People are making really cool modes. Like
It's kind of
insane.
wild.
They've even, like, the last couple PTR patches have been exclusively to like add new things that you can control in the workshop, because they realize they're like, shit, people are super creative. Give them as many tools as they can. Like, someone might discover the next big thing. Like,
Yeah, people are going
I
nuts.
mean, haven't they seen mods?
for any
Yeah, but-
any listeners who are too young to know, before League of Legends was a thing, there was a thing called Defense of the Ancients, better known as Dota, which was just a custom map in Warcraft 3. So that spawned an entire genre of like esports defining games, and just because there were tools out there to mod your game.
To be fair, I don't think that's doable inside of Overwatch, but I
No,
might be wrong.
that said, people are trying to make their own version of Pokemon inside of Overwatch. So like I said,
God.
creativity is everything.
The infrastructure would have to be there first, like
I mean-
initially.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is pretty hacky right now, but it's fun to see it.
I also just think it's interesting what a lot of people did to like some abilities. Like I saw who's Zenyatta, the guy who hovers?
Yes.
Like near the top of Reddit the other day there was a post about, "Hey, I made him a little more interesting. I added a 2-second hover to his jump if you hold down the button."
Yeah.
And it's like,
people
"Oh, that's kind of neat."
You can do some interesting stuff. One of the big things that I liked is we'll play Mystery Heroes a lot just to like grind out loot boxes. But if you die, you lose all your ult charge.
Yes, I
Someone came up with
saw
a system
that.
of like maintaining ult charge between characters. And while there's like very minor chance of abuse, I think it's a way more fun way to play
Yeah.
Mystery Heroes.
'Cause it sucks ass to lose your ult and then you're like, "Well, I guess that was a waste of time."
Yeah, and that one guy who's just popping off his Genji ulting 3 times in a game. Anyway, Nintendo also confirmed there is another Nintendo Direct on June 2nd. I think it's the conclusion of some, I don't know, like their first like professional Smash Bros. / Splatoon 2 tournament, and it's going to culminate with a Direct that's taking place during E3. So they're going to do something. I don't know what, but it's fun that Nintendo went and gave us the dates. So we don't have to speculate about it like zombies for a few weeks.
Always.
Always. But moving on, Nintendo has publicly announced that the reception regarding Tetris 99, which for anyone who doesn't know was a game that you got for free if you sign up for the Nintendo Online service. They said that everyone's, I'm trying to find a way to word this correctly. Everyone really liked it, and Nintendo realizes that's how you can sell people on your service. And this kind of falls in similar to how PlayStation Plus was, where it was you get a free game every month that you can keep while you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. But the thing I didn't like about PlayStation Plus was if you weren't subscribed during a month, you can't get that game. Nintendo seems like they want to push more games that, as long as you are a Plus subscriber, you have access to this suite of games. And we'll probably see something similar to Tetris 99, where it's a very like online centric game. That said, they are aware of the issue of trying to have a game where you need 99 other players online and queuing up at the same time as you. And they did release I think it's like a $10 DLC, which adds a ton of other shit, but in addition, it adds offline mode.
Of course, you gotta pay that $10.
But I believe if you have offline mode, it doesn't matter if you're what's it called, a subscriber anymore. Like, you can, if you drop your subscription, you can keep Tetris 99 offline mode. So it's not like you lose it with the subscription, which I think is good. But we'll see what they have. I'm really hoping Nintendo just doesn't go, oh, here, 20 fucking NES games, the same ones we give out every time there's a controversy and need to apologize. Anyway, we briefly talked about Detective Pikachu, but that came out. It's getting pretty warm reception. I want to see it. Not much to talk about because we already talked about during Sonic. But the thing that keeps coming up this week, just because no one will stop joking that Nick Fury is going to show up at the end of Detective Pikachu and talk about the Smash Bros. Initiative, is they're like, what would it take for there to be a Smash Bros. Movie? And I saw their answer, and the basic answer was, well, everyone's got to get their own movie first, and then we'll do a crossover. And I'm like, oh, great.
Oh, my God.
All right, makes perfect fucking sense.
Dude,
you want to go for the Avengers approach.
The only
never-
thing that would earn more money than the fucking Avengers movie is a Super Smash Brothers movie.
The problem is,
Jeez.
I don't know if they could
No, that'd be
successfully do a
What story
Mario
do you
movie
do?
and a Zelda movie.
No,
like,
there's no story there. There's nothing you can do.
yeah, it's
That'd be
not
horrible.
happening.
Bro.
What?
Master Hand.
That doesn't matter.
Bro, I don't want a live
Still
action
need a
Subspace
story.
Emissary.
Yeah, that's
Well, you don't want to see, like, live-action Donkey Kong and his ass on screen? You sure you don't want that?
instead of the Hulk, you get Donkey Kong.
Yeah, dude. Just think about it. Just think
Who's
about it.
Captain
Listeners,
America?
think about it.
Mario?
Captain America, yeah, probably. That's Italia's ass. Italy's ass.
Jesus.
Light spoiler for Endgame.
What?
Light
We're
spoiler.
getting there anyway. All right. Speaking of Endgame, we gotta get to the Endgame because we're.
All right.
I snuck this story in at the end of this Nintendo stuff. Apparently, Devil May Cry 1 is getting ported to the Switch, so everyone's like, "Hey, now Dante can be in Smash."
Oh my god.
Shit.
Jesus
Well, I mean,
Christ.
this is kind of a big deal only because DMC is riding fucking high off DMC
Why
5
one,
killing it.
though? Why not two why not the
Why not the
trilogy?
HD?
Yeah,
Dude,
because they have the whole HD collection.
wish I knew. All I'm saying is I heard that, and it's funny to think that Dante could be in
What
Smash
the
now.
I don't understand.
Oh my god.
All the warriors in
Fucking
Smash.
die if he's in Smash.
What?
Oh my god. Anyway,
Freeman-
I want Tyler,
Yeah, Tyler, Freeman put this off while you were gone.
I wanted you here because I want to hear you get salty about this. But Final Fantasy VII Remake had a new trailer release. Was it last week?
a few days ago.
Yes. Was it a few days ago?
I
Oh no,
don't
yeah, it
fucking
was
know.
a few days ago. Or last week. Whatever. New trailer dropped.
Anyway, the combat system looks a little janky. It looks like they just kind of reskinned the Final Fantasy 15 combat system.
Initial thoughts, don't like it.
Ruh-roh.
But I like the CG though, and
That's
That's-
nothing from a Final Fantasy game.
It
that's
really
nothing from a Final Fantasy game. I'm coming from the 10 remake. I'll take good CG. Trust
Freeman,
me.
even that old game has great CG compared to other stuff.
No, absolutely not. Maybe I don't have a frame of reference in the time, but like
That's
the CG
fair.
is not that good.
Okay,
I'm
saw
kind of
screen
upset.
caps, and this thing looks gorgeous.
I think this looks okay. I honestly think that they're kind of lowballing this. Like, Final Fantasy 15 looks stunning. Like, everything looks stunning. Nothing about this. Like, I would also need to see the open world. I really do.
I mean,
'cause
this is
think
still
that's-
10 billion years from coming out, I'm sure.
It's got to make. But, like, that's the thing. If they make it linear, like 13, with the
No,
combat of
they
15,
can't-
I'll be like.
They
Well,
can't
hold
change
on.
it that much. It's going to
Yeah,
mostly be 7.
Here's the thing. Even though in Final Fantasy 7 you could go wherever you wanted, when you were doing story stuff, you were on rails for a good section of it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get, railroaded for a bit.
I also think that outside of moment-to-moment gameplay, this is going to be a 95% just 7 again.
But there was, well, yeah, I'm fine with that. But the thing is, here's my other thing too. I want them to improve the materia magic
Oh yeah,
That's
materia.
probably going to be
thing.
all new.
Such a bad system.
But well, there is you could do some kind of cool things with it. I think they improved it a lot in Crisis Core. But if they just cut and paste the magic from 15, I'll be kind of pissed.
No, they're going to
I'm
do
not gonna
some
lie.
weird hybrid
Like,
thing. It's going to be
Cause
weird.
well, also the fact that materia is an integral part to the story
Yeah, it's like a story
itself.
element.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's not going to be a copy paste. They can't.
I have like that's the
Tyler,
thing,
look,
like,
you're gonna. I
nah,
feel
man,
like
listen, my friend is calling me an old fag because I just
No, no,
want
no.
the old Final Fantasy VII, and that's not the case.
no.
I just
I don't think you
want-
do. I think you have to wait and see 3 minutes of gameplay, and then you'll know how you're gonna feel about this game.
I definitely didn't get enough. It had some gameplay. It
I didn't
didn't
even
have
watch it.
enough,
I'm just
though.
going off secondhand hearing. But
Yeah,
I can
no,
imagine you're gonna like once you see the first gameplay trailer, then you're gonna know if you're gonna like this shit or not.
So
I
the
just don't
real
want it to be Kingdom Hearts 3. That's it, man.
hold on, keep in mind, Tetsuya
bad
Nomura
news.
isn't rewriting the plot for this one, so it's not going to be Kingdom Hearts 3.
Damn.
I mean, did you not like the gameplay in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Maybe if I played it on critical, I'd like it better. Apparently, it's like
Are you talking
actually
to
hard.
both of us?
I mean, I was actually mostly talking to you. I know Freeman liked Kingdom Hearts 3 more than you.
Yeah, I didn't like the combat.
Okay.
I didn't like the story. I didn't like
Well,
the
that
character.
story doesn't matter. I'm just talking about
It's
gameplay.
Kingdom Hearts. The story does matter.
The story,
But not for how it ties to a Final Fantasy remake.
It doesn't.
Also,
I'm just-
I was listening to one of my podcasts today, and they went on about this for quite a while. That's where I'm getting most of my info from. But listening to them talk about a lot of the pretty crazy scenes in this game, I'm interested to
Are
hear.
you referring to the cross-dressing scene?
No,
Is that what it is?
way worse than that. Like all over the place.
What?
Oh,
What?
no, all right, so
Barrett,
people-
Barrett
yeah.
going on a date with Cloud at the Golden Saucer?
No. So Barrett's a problem because for anyone who played 7, Barrett's the best part of the game because all of his dialogue is censored. He's just
Oh yeah,
cursing
him and
storm.
Sid are nothing but censored. It's fantastic.
It's hilarious, and I don't know how they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna bleep everything they say, or they're just not gonna do that. Because apparently in Japan they weren't cursing that much. Like that was a very American thing they did to the localization.
Nah, they're probably just gonna rewrite that. Honestly.
Damn it, that was the
The-
best part of like watching Barrett just yell all the time. Is just not understanding what he said 'cause it's all blocks.
I mean, the way
Yeah,
the
him-
podcast I was listening to put it, they called it. That sounds like it's going to be Gospel Barrett, like Gospel Black guy.
Oh,
That sounds funny. I don't know.
Preach.
Yeah, pretty much. No, but like they were talking about how like there's scenes where like, what is it, Cloud and Tifa,
Yeah.
like were having like getting on under the airship and everybody was watching or something.
hold on. It's only loosely implied from one.
Well, but that's
sentence.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you
It's
know,
gonna
it's
get
gonna.
rewritten probably.
Well, that's the thing. How much are they gonna rewrite?
all
I
of
don't
it.
know. Who cares?
Enough.
I don't care that much about this. I know you guys are excited because you played it. I didn't play it, so this means actual nothing to me. But I can appreciate that you guys are interested.
I mean, I don't care honestly. Like, I didn't need a remake.
You're gonna play
It's
this,
kind
though.
of funny. Well, that's the thing, right? In 2000, like what 6, when they showed off that tech demo, my like little Miller schooler dick was like, "Yo, I need this. I need this." But like after a while, and like after I had accepted, like, you know what?
That was just shit
I don't
for the
need this.
trailer.
I was like, but like literally, I was like, I honestly don't care. I already have Final Fantasy VII. I don't need a remake. My one friend was on some other shit though. He's like, "Well, I understand. Like, they're trying to market it towards like the little kids." I'm like, absolutely
Okay,
not.
whatever. That
No.
sounds like one of the most R-rated Final Fantasy games out there.
Yeah, I was like, do you see them remaking any other Final Fantasy? Why just 7? Why'd they skip all
Seems
the
like
other
the worst
ones?
one to remake for kids.
It is the worst one to remake. That one's pretty bad. Actually, I think that might be the worst one.
I would say
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know
think
them,
which
but
ones are bad. Like 4 is not that bad. 10 is, I don't know. It's,
10
also
is kind
it's
of
isn't
fucked
whatever.
up.
another thing I remember from that
It's sort of, but
podcast.
it's not
Isn't there a
like
scene where Cloud beats the shit out of Eris or something?
What?
no.
When I think of this,
No.
or I don't I.
What
That's
the
what they were
hell?
saying,
No.
like in a temple or something.
No.
Cloud
more
like
like,
goes
No, well,
crazy
more
and
like he
beats
becomes a
somebody up.
vegetable.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no. There's that one scene where he's possessed, but he doesn't beat the shit out of her. He just kind of like throws her back.
Yeah.
That's violence against women.
I mean-
Can't do that.
Oh, all right.
Wee
So
woo, wee woo.
we're just gonna skip when she dies, huh? Oh yeah, spoiler.
Well, no, that's too
Bro,
story.
you can't spoil that. It's been like
All right.
22 years.
We need to
It's-
move on.
It's only been 20 years and no big deal. or
All right,
anything.
this is so minor, but I heard
Why
this
is it on
today.
here?
I thought this was the funniest shit ever. Apparently, during an Xbox announcement stream just yesterday or something, over the last few days, Major Nelson of Microsoft just straight up announced the last Dragon
God.
Ball Z Fighters character that's coming out as DLC. It's fucking Janemba.
Oh yeah. Damn,
Like-
he's still alive?
What a pull!
Major Nelson is still alive, Tim?
Apparently. No, but like I actually remember watching the movie with Janemba, and like Janemba was the goofiest shit ever, and I just can't get over the fact that he's gonna be in Fighters. Like outside of all the
goofy.
characters, like you pick Janemba. Janemba, he's like a demon with a sword. Like what? Oh my god, it's so goofy. I just thought it was
How
hilarious.
did this make our news? It's not even. We don't even play this game.
No, but I know who Janemba is, and I thought it was hilarious to hear that
I mean,
he's
I
going to
don't
be
know
in the
who fuck
game.
Janemba is.
That sounds
Freeman
like
has
some
to have
news-
seen it.
That sounds like some news that no one wants to hear about, which sounds very similar to the weeb shit in general.
You know, Freeman, I
Yeah.
did actually tweet out your picture earlier.
I know, I'm very proud of it.
It was
I'm-
great.
I don't know what happened. The compression got really shitty each time it got reposted from my phone to Facebook to your Twitter. But nonetheless, we'll keep this short. So, first things first, One Punch Man episode 6 came out today. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll say this. The last time we spoke, I'd only seen the first 2 episodes of One Punch Man, and the current
yeah.
rating theory was there was a lot of production issues when they started and that they may have like kind of settled down after that. And I can confirm that from episode 3 on, a lot of like they improved a lot from episode 3 on. I will keep repeating this for the entirety of its airing period. This is nothing like season 1, but that said, this is a very good action anime. I think season 2 is picking up. It's getting really good. The only thing I don't like, and this is not a problem with the studio, is that Saitama's not a real focus of this season. It's a lot on side characters. So he's had so little scenes, and I'm getting annoyed by it.
I only saw the first 2 episodes.
I only saw the first one. I might get around to watching the rest though, because I just found out Brooklyn Nine-Nine's been putting out more episodes because I thought they were done for the season or something. So I might have to pay for another month of Hulu so Val and I can just in one burst catch up on Brooklyn. But at the same time, I might as well watch One Punch.
Yeah, I'm gonna just straight up spoil one element of episode 3. But starting from episode 3 on, they cement that like, what's his name, Garo, the like white-haired guy. He's gonna be a villain for a good amount of time, and to really show off how evil he is, he just beats the shit out of Moomin Rider in episode 3.
No, not again.
What the hell, man?
How many
Come
times is he gonna get
on.
done
but
like
that's
that?
the thing I love about this. Moomin Rider is the most like background character. That whole thing is like 30 seconds, then like no one talks about
Get
it.
at it. No. Dude,
I
he
realize
like
this.
had the most emotional scene in the
We-
whole first season.
We, as a friend group, put way too much emphasis on Moomin Rider.
I
'cause
don't
apparently-
think that's
because
true.
apparently no one else does.
That doesn't seem true. I don't know. I remember watching Mother's
Nah,
Basement's
no
video
one else
about.
outside of our friend group talked about Moomin Rider and how much of a real dude he is.
I remember watching Mother's Basement's video on One Punch, and he was like, "Dude, this scene with Moomin Rider is the fucking best scene in the whole show."
I mean, it is the best, but they just anyway. Moving on. I don't want to ruin anything else about One Punch, but it's definitely
Damn,
really
now I
good.
don't even know what I want to watch. My boy Moomin Rider.
No, it's good, dude. I flipped out when Moomin Rider shows up and he does. All right, I'm not even gonna say it. Just
Does he
watch
do the
episode
bicycle
3.
toss? Oh my god.
Yes, he does Justice Crash. That's exactly what I was about to say.
It's alright, that's all I need to see. I'll be okay. I'll get through it.
Justice Crash. Anyway, yeah, keep going.
Moving on. For people who aren't as in the deep end like us, Toonami is still the biggest way that people who are not weebs get exposed to anime. And good news for everyone is Toonami is slowly creeping up earlier in the evening. Now it's starting at 10:30 as opposed to 11 o'clock, and it got bumped back to midnight for a while. They bumped it up to 11 recently. Now it's back at 10:30. I cannot stress how important this is. When I was in high school and Toonami started at midnight, that meant that the last couple shows started at 4:30 in the morning. And for some godforsaken reason, when Code Geass Season 1 was airing, they decided, let's just put the finale, like 3 weeks before the finale, we're going to dump it from the 1 a.m. slot to the 4:30 a.m. slot. So for the last 3 episodes...
yeah, that fucked me up,
I
dude.
woke up at 4:30 in the morning to watch Code Geass, but like I did this 3 weeks in a row and didn't remember what was happening. And then they did it again when Season 2 was airing. So like honestly, when I watched Code Geass, I for the love of God could not remember how it ended for the longest time. So then I rewatched it with my
like
friends.
A man, dude.
Well, I fell
God,
asleep and then I woke up again for it. But like I rewatched it like 3-4 years ago with a couple friends, and I forgot how insane the finale was. And it was really fun because I got to rewatch them knowing what was going to happen, but then being like, I straight up do not know what happens in the last 3 episodes of the show I'm rewatching.
There's the Blu-ray on my desk still.
And if you don't want to watch it on the Blu-ray, the entire thing is now on Netflix.
Yep, I saw that, and I was like, fuck, now Freeman really doesn't want to buy me that Blu-ray.
That's right, Tim. I pulled some strings at Netflix to make you watch this show.
Now you have to.
Look,
Yo,
it's
I'm
not a
recommending
not
it
wanting
too.
to. It's not that I don't want to. It's been. We'll get into it in weeks.
Yo,
It's
I
been
heard
busy.
the opening the other day though somewhere.
Oh, the first opening?
Yeah, the first opening.
Oh,
I got hype as hell. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that God, those openings. Anyway, speaking of shows with great openings, Attack on Titan returned the week that It's funny you sing that because
I've never even seen the show more than one
singer
episode.
of the opening just straight up did not give a shit, and when he wrote the opening for this season, he just sings the first like bit of the first opening and then just starts singing a different song. Like he's not even like trying to allude to it anymore. It's just like, hey, every song I write from now on is gonna have that little bit at the beginning to remind you that I wrote this for Attack on Titan.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
That said, what Attack on Titan did, they originally when season 3 was coming out, it made it sound like it was gonna be a continuous 26. And then after episode 12 or 13 came out, they said, hold up, we're taking 6 months off. And when we come back, we'll tell you what the actual episode count is. And when they came back, they told us the episode count is 10. This is the exact number we need to do what we want at the pace we want. Sound familiar? Because Game of Thrones did the same thing when they said we're going to take 2 years off to go do season 8. It's only going to be 6 episodes.
Yeah, but
I didn't like that decision when Thrones announced it, but based on the first 3 episodes of the second half of Attack on Titan, so the 3 out of 10, holy shit, the pacing of these episodes has been insane. Like
in a good way.
In a good way. I'm so happy they're doing it in 10 because
so already different. You're saying?
Yes, they did the same thing, but they actually had a good reason to do it. Like Studio Wit is pulling all the stops. This is the actual problem. Attack on Titan airs on Sunday, so I'll go watch it with my buddies before Thrones. I'm more excited for Titan than Thrones last week and this week.
And then next week's the finale.
Yeah, and then it's just Attack on Titan Sundays, the way it was meant to be. Anyway, but this season is absolutely insane. I'm fucking loving it.
I'm gonna get to it one of these
shows.
days.
Too many fucking shows to watch and too much.
There's
shit
too
to
many
do.
shows, and I keep forgetting about them, and I keep getting caught in Initial D.
Oh, wait, we'll get to that one second.
Yeah.
But real quick, a show that Luigi and I watched is absolute trash. Quintessential Quintuplets.
Oh God, it's so.
It's
the story.
This is still a thing.
The story of the main character tutoring 5 girls who are all sort of in love with him.
I feel like you've talked about this show more than shows you like.
Well, no, I like this show. It's harem trash, but it's executed so well that I can't appreciate
This is
it.
the Jerry Springer of anime, dude.
This is exactly what your picture you
it's
sent was
it's
about.
Not. This show is not that bad in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, but so on the date of the Quintuplets like in-universe birthday, they had an event for the manga, and they announced that season 2 is coming, no date given. But Luigi and I were celebrating because fuck it, we love this show and we think Miku's best girl. So that's that. You can't convince me otherwise.
That's what I'm saying, Tyler.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway,
But just to wrap up the Weeb show, I thought we'd talk about what did we watch in the past month / 3-week period. Tyler, did you want to share a particular show that you've been watching?
Oh boy.
yeah. Initial D.
Hell yeah.
We're watching because it's when you posted it in the Discord. I was like, huh. I remember like well, let me fuck around with this, and then all of a sudden I started watching. I was like, ah, shit.
The best part was that link wasn't meant for you. It was Tim and I had just
Yep.
finished watching Mother's Basement's video, and I linked Tim episode 1 in hopes that like maybe it would plant the seeds of potentially just like watching it. 'cause
And
it's
then Tyler's the
dubbed or
one who
whatever.
got that.
And then
plan.
Tyler's like, "Ooh, what's this?"
I literally like, ooh, what's this? And I click on it, and I was like, oh man, that actually kind of wasn't bad. But like, what kind of? It's weird because I'm the one who talks about like shitty 3D rendering half the time. But I was like, man, this reminds me of the old days with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I
Oh
like
damn!
Oh my
yeah.
god.
so that's why
Oh my fucking
I
god.
kept watching, and I was like, oh shit, this is great. But I also kind of like because it was like kind of like a fresh perspective because I read up until I do remember now. I read up until oh Jesus, excuse me. Where he beats Ryusuke.
Yeah, he beats the yellow FD on Mount Akina, right?
Yes.
So like what, like episode 7 or 8, I think, in this show.
Oh wait, no,
Or is it,
I
no, is it
realized
6?
no, I realized I said something I shouldn't have. If you wanted Tim to watch this.
I already forgot
no,
all
he
the
doesn't-
names you're talking
Oh, sorry.
about.
Oh, you're
so-
referring to the other
No,
brother. Yeah, no, it
I would
doesn't
actually be
matter.
willing to watch, but Tyler, honestly, everything you just said already went out the other ear, so don't worry about it.
It's
That's-
okay. I know what you're referring to, and okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Not.
yeah. So I confused the brothers.
Yeah. So after that happens, I read up to that and I stopped. I like hard stopped.
Just to clarify, is that when he starts talking about Project D, or is that
No.
earlier?
They don't even mention that this season. The sister, or not the sister, sorry, the two girls,
Yeah.
they mention like, oh, that's like ultra D level drifting, and I'm like, nigga, what?
Oh yeah.
Like that's it though. That's all.
Oh,
they
sorry. No,
mention.
I'm confused. I forgot he races him times. There's another race. I think it's the end of the third stage movie where he first brings it up to him.
Oh, so yeah, I'm like a ways off from that. Dude.
Yeah. I wasn't. No, when you said you read that in the comics, I wasn't sure how far along you were. 'Cause,
Oh yeah.
like
yeah,
fourth
yeah.
stage onwards is a majority of them.
No, like I didn't even get to second stage, like
Oh, okay.
equivalent. Yeah.
Like
no,
you didn't meet the LAN Evo gang.
Oh my god, dude! I watched the first episode and I'm like, these dudes are fucking losers. Holy shit! Like I,
Like it's a group of like 12 guys who all own. LAN
dude,
Evo.
everybody's
Show off
got
how
an
much they love 'em.
Evo, and I'm like, you guys are fucking losers. But now I know where they got the idea for Too Fast, Too Furious now, because Brian drives an Evo 6 in that movie, and I'm like, of course. And like all these guys, they all drive like Evo 5s basically, like the generate the
Yeah, like
gen
everyone.
before.
Yeah, everyone who's not the leader of the gang is one
Oh, sorry,
generation.
no. Yeah, but and Too Fast, Too Furious was an Evo 5. They're driving Evo 4s. Yeah, no, and I was like, this is lame. This is some gay. Like, and all of them have the same one. But I like everybody from all the teams from the first season, like the Red Suns, the Night Kids, and the pair of girls. I was like, oh, they all have like their own character. They all have their own cars. They have their own unique like spin on things.
And now it's just 8 dudes who are literally identical, and then one leader in like a bandana.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is actual trash. I'm like, I really hope they lose. And like, whereas opposed to in the first season where it's like, oh, these guys are just assholes, and then it's like, oh, there's actual character growth.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and like I respected it more as a show.
I'll
Yeah.
say that the show evolves past the LAN Evo dudes, but it lingers there for a little bit.
God, I hope so. Like, I'm gonna get tired of this real quick.
I think they only stick around for part of second.
But I will say this: an air of caution to anyone who wants to get into some
yeah,
classic
this
anime.
is a big disclaimer.
One of the big disclaimers is I know we talk about the 4-episode rule or like couple episodes rules. You gotta get past
6.
it with this one.
The first
yeah.
race doesn't even start till like the beginning of the 5th episode.
Yeah, it's a chug.
Like
There's
the
like a
first
half
six.
race. There's a half race like before.
Oh, it's where the meme from inertia drift comes from.
Oh yeah. Fucking Jesus. Whatever. All I know is that I wish that Fast and the Furious was this show. Like this, like Initial D did what Fast and the Furious should have been doing. But hey, man, whatever.
Go
Anyway,
watch. You should be
Tim,
watching.
yeah, you should be
You should be watching.
watching.
Tim,
Tim,
did you watch anything good in the last 3 weeks?
I rewatched Laid Back a few weeks ago. That was about it.
Nice.
Because I'd never actually watched through like the middle. I'd seen like the first few, but outside of that, actually no.
Doesn't sound like there's
We-
inertia drifting in this anime.
We actually haven't been watching anime. We've been watching a real show.
Real shows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn
Real
Nine-Nine.
fake shows.
No, we haven't watched. I just said I have to restart Hulu to actually watch
Alright.
Brooklyn.
Real
we've been-
monsters.
What
We
are you watching?
we started Lucifer last week because Netflix recommended it.
Dude,
Oh, my friends
real
watch
show with
that.
real
It's-
people.
That show's actually a pretty good time. It's honestly pretty entertaining.
Nah, I'm over real shows with real people now ever since Game of Thrones.
I can understand that. We'll probably
Only-
swing back into anime after Lucifer because man, shows with 40-minute episodes, it's hard to binge those.
Yeah, they're draining.
We're like
What do
in
you
the
mean? I
we're-
only watched all of Supernatural in one summer.
Okay, well, you're also ragingly gay, so
Yo,
Whoa.
not wrong. What? Yeah, whoa, man. Stop being
actually,
so
not gonna
real.
lie, every time I go on Netflix, it's like, hey, Supernatural has new episodes. I'm like, hey, I'm not Tyler.
I'm not Tyler. Yo, I mean, I'm a little gay. I'm not. I am hetero, but man,
I
if
know.
if
It's funny,
Dean
though.
Winchester ever,
I just Tyler, look, you play into it more than we do. Like,
I play into it. What there's no play.
no,
man. This is real.
Anyway, Lucifer is really good. I didn't realize how like my friend told me she watches it, and then I brought it up to my Magic group, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like 3 out of the 4 guys in my Magic group have all watched Lucifer." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't realize it was so popular," but it's pretty entertaining. It's honestly a good time. A lot of it hinges on the main guy really pulling off the whole devil thing, and he does it. You could totally buy that he's actually the devil. It's fun.
Maybe I'll watch real shows again. I was thinking about it. I still need to finish what's it called? Something else. But whatever.
I've got to watch all of Altered Carbon. I still need to do that.
Still haven't watched that either.
Yeah,
Or Black
I'm
Mirror.
telling you, all that really good sci-fi stuff that
Yeah.
I pulled inspiration for my world. Like Altered Carbon came out at like the best time for me.
It's too much. I feel like I'm almost slowing down because of the weight of there being too much lately.
Because you're old.
Like this, yeah, well, that's not wrong. But there's also just like so much, like there's so many shows. It's like everybody has like, hey, did you try this show? Did you try this show? Did you try this show? And then at the same time, there's like a bunch of anime that's really good. And it's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to
that's
do with
just-
my day? I need to be
But
productive, not
Listen,
always watching TV.
would you rather not have any options?
No.
Yeah.
That's
see?
not an alternative, though. These all make too much money.
Sounds like first world problems.
You're
Oh my
correct.
Sounds like, oh no, there's so many shows for me to watch. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so I'd be productive instead. Like, I cleaned the whole first floor of the house today. I swept the whole thing. It was great.
Oh, look at you being an adult.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty fucking nice. Well, me,
Yeah, living...
intellectual,
Oh, my God.
watching
God.
Initial D.
Speaking of watching... Oh, my God. I can't even...
I can't even.
I was going to try, and then you said Initial D, and I'm like, well, that doesn't lead into Endgame at all.
Initial
No,
D.
wait. I want to talk about the 3 things I watch before we leave. It's my
okay.
weeb shit. So I'm going to talk about my weeb shit. Anyway. So, despite the fact that I'm watching JoJo, Attack on Titan, One Punch, all these very manly action shows, on the side, all I'm watching is this shoujo made for girls shows. So, for anyone who watched Fruits Basket way back in the early 2000s, they are completely remaking that show from scratch. I know Leslie
Yeah, this
is
is the thing
already
that she's
ahead of
been
me.
all on.
because someone else is ahead of me on my Crunchyroll. So I'm almost caught up on it. It's super duper well done. Apparently, the original was just like this very shitty anime that just happened to come out at the right time. But this is very like well animated. The music's on point. My favorite voice actress voices the dead mom. Like, it's got everything. But in terms of shows that aren't airing, just because if anyone who follows the anime YouTuber sphere, everyone will be telling you right now, this season doesn't have that many good shows, and everyone's trying to find other shit to watch.
Just watched Mother's Basement's video a few hours ago of like, hey, here's 5 shows from last year to watch because this season's not very good.
Here's the thing, though. He already had like long ass videos about those 5 before. Like none of them were new recommendations. I've heard him talk about all of these.
Did you watch that video already? It sounds like you did.
Yeah, I watched it during lunch today. So I didn't have time to watch like a real show.
If you remind me, Planet With is the one that he super raves about, and you said it wasn't actually that good, right?
He liked it, but the general consensus among the anime subreddit was that it was fucking weird.
Okay, because he like the whole end of this video, he's like
comparing it to Gurren Lagann.
He's like, this is like better than Gurren in half the time, and it's like, wow, that's some hype.
I'm not gonna lie. If the anime subreddit says that an anime is weird, I kind of want to see it.
No, I don't mean weird as in like this is unusual. Like weird, I didn't like. Most of them are like this wasn't that enjoyable.
Oh, that kind of weird.
Yeah,
bad weird, not good weird.
Like, he describes how good it is compared to Gurren, but then the clips he picked for like the weird ass like dumb shapes flying through the sky in low render CG. It's like half of what made Gurren nice was it looked nice.
Looked fucking gorgeous.
Doesn't look that nice.
Also, there's like next to no CG, if any, really in Gurren.
I don't remember any in Gurren at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But the other show I watched, and Tim vaguely knows about the show from watching ProZD videos.
Oh.
But there's this one show called Chihaya Furu, which is about playing this really obscure Japanese card game where you lay out the verses to the second halves of the poems on the floor, and then a person will read out the first verse, and you're racing your opponent to knock the card with the second verse away. And he described, I think his video is just like when you try describing a really obscure anime to someone.
I'm also into My Hero Academia.
But I saw the first season when it came out. It was great. When the second season came out, I was really busy, so I didn't watch it. And the third season, they just reconfirmed it will be airing in the fall. So I'm like, oh, I should probably watch season 2 at some point.
All of season 2.
And this is the kind of show where, like, here's the real deal. I was looking for something I could watch on an airplane without people thinking I'm weird. Chihaya Furu is not a...
Anime is automatically out of the running completely.
So Chihaya Furu is an unusual show, but it's not a weird show. Like, nothing actually, like, bizarre is on screen. Like, you're the worst case scenario. You have 2 people sitting on the floor wearing, like, traditional Japanese wear, and one of them will slap a card off the floor. Like, there's nothing on here that gets you labeled as, like, a weirdo. It's more just like, what the fuck is that guy watching?
Honestly, Freeman, you could probably watch My Hero and get away with it more likely.
Nah, it has that scene where May, like, presses her boobs in Deku's face. Can't risk that shit in public, Tim.
You know when that is.
It has every scene with Creati in it. It's questionable at best.
Oh my god.
Point is, it's a very good show, and I can't wait for season 3.
Speaking of that's it
for the weeb shit.
Speaking of My Hero, though, I think it's important to let everybody know that we finally got Leslie to watch a bunch of anime. She is now watching Shield Hero along with us, and we got her to catch up on My Hero. At least to the point where I finally showed her my phone background.
More importantly, she watched Goblin Slayer.
Oh yeah, she watched all of Goblin Slayer, which is crazy. Freeman, I'm so sad you weren't there though. Like that fucking hangout for 5 minutes while we were home 2 weekends ago and watching. It was such bullshit. We got to like 11 o'clock and All Might had just punched All for One in the face and didn't work. And it's like, yeah, time to go home.
Oh my god.
It was like, no, this is the best part coming up. But yeah. Yeah, I guess it's time to talk about the end of all games. We in the end game now.
We're in the end game now, Tony Stark.
I had to. I mean, come on. I've been playing with the idea of whether or not this episode is just going to be called We're in the End Game now.
I've listened to 75 podcast episodes. How many did we talk about Endgame? 1, and it's this one. Let's do it.
And I'm out.
So this movie's really good.
Do we want no break? We're just.
Oh, are we doing the?
Yeah, no. We need to take a short break for our sponsors.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep talking because I don't feel like taking a break. No.
All
It's
right,
fine.
well-
We'll take a break. We'll take a break.
All right.
And we're back. Back for the end game. Ha ha ha. Endgame. It's the end of the. Ha ha.
Get the fuck out of here. Let's just talk about Avengers.
The
Talk about
Avengies.
how much
Talk about America's ass.
America's ass.
I
That
saw
is
this movie
America's
as a
ass.
complete win.
So this movie is just fan service. That's all it is. Which is fine. It's great fan service. I
Is it
cried.
just fan service? I guess
Someone asked me
mostly,
the other day, would I enjoy Endgame without seeing the other Avengers?
Why? Why would
Like,
you
fuck
waste your
no.
time?
You know, there's no point in it. This is, it's like watching the last episode of a TV show without watching anything before it. There's literally no point to it.
Here's one comment I'll make. It's sort of a strike against this movie. I'm pretty sure as a film, Infinity War was better than Endgame. Just as like a cohesive film that you can watch. I think Infinity War was better.
I will agree with you, but I also feel the same way about almost every movie that was filmed back to back with its first part.
Oh,
Where the
sure.
first part is almost always better. Like what are some good
Yeah,
examples?
what? Give me something
Matrix.
else. Okay.
Matrix Reloaded was way better than
Oh,
Revolution.
Well,
I know
mean,
we
both
have
of the
different
R's aren't
opinions
as
on
good.
this, but I think
Toy
Back to the
Story
Future 2 was better than
3
3.
Wait,
Was
Oh,
better
first-
than 2.
2 and 3 were not filmed like
Toy Story?
at
Get
the
the
same.
Yeah,
okay,
I know, I'm
Freeman.
fucking
Let me
here.
say your real answer again because I couldn't even hear it.
I was saying that like I personally like Back to the Future Part 2 more than 3. I know you guys don't feel that way.
Okay, Back to the Future 2 is actually probably better. I just loved Back to the Future 3 because when I was a kid, I fucking loved trains. And it was that simple. Like, that steam engine
Okay.
was the single greatest thing in the world to me when I was a kid. So,
But
you're probably right. It's just personal train bias.
yeah, but regardless, whenever they film a movie that's almost like sequentially shot, it's always because the second one is very dependent on the first one.
Yeah.
And that's completely true with Infinity War and Endgame.
Yep.
Infinity War is definitely a better standalone
The way
film in regards to how it handles beginning, middle, end.
the way I like
Endgame
to
has
put
a
it,
very unusual structure.
yeah, the way I like to compare it when I said it to Val and she kind of got what I was going for is Infinity War was kind of all these threads, but they all wound around Thanos. He was the protagonist of the movie. Everything revolved around Thanos. And then in Infinity War, you kind of just have these strands going in all these different directions, and then the writers literally grab them all and pull them together for the movie to end. Like they just force it back together. And it's not bad, but it's clearly they just pull it all together, and it feels a little disconnected in the middle.
So I've got one question specifically for Tyler.
Ooh.
The second, like I'm sitting in the theater, the second they mention they're going to go back in time to get the Infinity Stones, in the background, I'm like, oh no, Tyler hates time travel. What were you thinking when the second they like revealed that was going to be the plot?
I wasn't surprised actually. In fact, the blow wasn't as hard because I had a feeling.
Time heist.
Okay.
Because I had watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, they talk
And
about
I'm like,
yeah.
this is gonna be the vehicle, but how are they gonna use it?
Yeah, they
I'm
didn't.
Like,
It's kind of funny that Michelle Pfeiffer, mentions like time bubbles or something, and they didn't actually
Yeah.
use that at all. They just kind of say, "Oh, Pym particles mean you can go back in time." But yeah, as soon as she said that, it's like, up there's the answer in the quantum realm.
yeah, and I was like, well, like, yeah, because I wasn't entirely sure. I was like, okay, sure, maybe some kind of time dilation, but like, they're gonna do some funky shit in like
They
the
have
quantum
to.
realm, and that's gonna like be integral to the story. And they're like, blah blah blah, time travel. I'm like, fuck, I should have known this was gonna happen. Like,
I mean, as soon as the beginning happens and Thanos goes kaput and he's like, the stones are destroyed, it's like, well, time travel. All right.
yeah, well, but here's the thing, though, right? Here's what like made me annoyed, but then later on, and I'll be skipping ahead just slightly for this, just to like get to my point of how I kind of got over it. I still don't like it. There are still things that bother me,
As with
but,
every time travel, yeah.
as with every time travel thing. But what this did though, even though they time traveled and they did all this other stuff, at the end of the day, there was still a price that they had to pay.
Yep.
Like people died. Like
Yep.
Widow died. Vision didn't come back.
Dude, oh my god, I forgot. Yeah,
Yeah, Vision. Yeah,
that's one of the
Vision's not
that's one of the
there.
I don't know
worst
why I thought he was
cuts.
gonna come back though.
It's like he literally only existed in about 3 movies for 5
Yeah,
seconds.
Heimdall didn't come back.
Nope, that was fine.
And then it's like, well, Loki technically didn't come back.
Time to find out from the TV show what the fuck that is.
Yeah, time to find out from the TV show what the deal is with that,
Are we
right?
time traveling all the time now? Are we alternate universe?
Well, that was another thing too. That's like, okay, well, here's a Loki from this time period that like is a complete and total asshole and wasn't about like being on the team.
Oh, yeah,
To
like,
be
he never
fair,
had his-
even when he was on the team, he wasn't really on the team.
He wasn't
Loki
on the
was.
team
In
but,
Ragnarok.
like, he was worse off. Like then, at that
Mhm,
point in time, he
mhm.
was worse off though.
No, you're right. You're right.
So that like there's things that have happened that they can't undo.
Yep.
And like it was very true. It's like, why can't we just use the stones to bring her back? Because it's like I feel like they should have explained it a little bit better.
I
They're
think
like, it's just not how it works. I'm like, no, just say that there
That's
was.
the greatest way to just be like, I don't want to waste 5 minutes explaining it in this movie.
But I think they kind of should have. It's
Well-
like, yo, there was a price that they had to pay.
yeah.
Kind of like the Philosopher's Stone.
Well, I kind of also think like with the ideas in Infinity War when you see Gamora in what is kind of implied to be in the Soul Stone when Thanos does the snap. I guess the idea is just like you said, that's a permanent price. You don't get to
and
cheat out of the price.
you don't cheat out of that price, and that's another thing too. It's like that Gamora for them is like also still.
Oh
they
yeah,
still
that's
lost
really
that
funny.
Gamora,
Yeah.
and like
That's
now
Guardian. Now we have Guardians
Star-Lord-
3. Haha.
Yeah, Guardians 3 is gonna. That's gonna be a crucible for them to go through. In
I-
Guardians 3.
It would be the greatest thing ever if they don't call 3 Guardians 3. They call it
As Guardians of the
3.
Galaxy.
Oh,
Asgardians,
that was, when he said that, I was like, this is the movie I want to see right now. This
It
is,
is.
like, honestly, my most hype upcoming project is probably Guardians. Again. Like,
Again.
Thor.
When
Well,
was it
no,
ever
like,
not?
well, no, because I mean, obviously I have the Star-Lord jacket. I loved the Guardians movies. They're some of my favorites. They're so fun, and with James Gunn coming back and everything, but like Ragnarok Thor plus the Guardians in Infinity War was such great chemistry. It was so much. They were just clearly having a ball, and it's like,
Yeah.
man, I just want to see that again.
There was a lot of good on-screen chemistry with that, and Gunn coming back. It'll be fun. What I liked though most about that, like, so just like touching on the ending because we're also talking about like future projects and everything. In my opinion, that all being said, I actually genuinely liked Endgame. Mostly because I don't think they could have ended it any better than they did.
That's
Yeah.
I actually made that comment just the other day. It was like, Endgame definitely isn't perfect. Like I said, Infinity War is probably a better movie. But
Yeah.
I mean, when you're juggling this many balls, it's actually insane to believe that this even worked at all.
Yeah.
It's just such a monumental accomplishment. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, Chris Evans, like, he tweeted out or something. Like, there's been a bunch of leaked little camera videos from backstage like when they were actually filming, and you just pan around and you just see all the huge actors just chatting and hanging out, like, on set, and it's like, who, like,
you had everyone. You had
who
freaking
even- yeah.
Michael Douglas there.
yeah, like, who even
Right.
thought, yeah, and all the flashback characters, it's like everyone was either in the final battle or we, like, saw them in New York.
Yeah, they
Like,
literally got everyone. I was really
It's
shocked.
insane.
Yeah.
Or what's his name? The guy, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. from Civil War, or no,
direct-
Winter Soldier. Robert Redford, that's his name.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he came back
yeah,
and
they
he
got
shot that
Robert
new scene
Redford's
again.
Old
And
ass
it's like,
to go there, like,
and do it again, and it's like the same. It was so great.
Yeah, they did. It was good.
It's definitely
Overall, I
not
liked
perfect,
it.
but like you can't help but be like, Nebula, why didn't you just turn on the time device instead of getting captured? Clearly,
Also,
it takes 3 seconds.
I got partially spoiled.
Yeah, I got completely spoiled before I saw it.
That's rough.
Yeah,
It was really
I-
annoying.
My scene was, and I kind of put it together that it wasn't them outright saying it, but I was going down to fix a printer at this one department, and these assholes had already seen it, and they just barge into the office to start talking, like literally non-discriminate of who was around. And then, like, by the time they're like, no, because blah blah blah, like he was worthy, and I'm like,
Oh.
and I immediately knew that Captain America picked up Mjolnir.
I
Oh,
mean,
well, that's a way
Immediately.
better spoiler than what I got.
What happened?
So it was a sponsored post on Facebook.
another reason to get rid of
And
Facebook.
the top comment is a fucking that stupid. You know the meme with the kid eating sand. That's the top comment, so it's not hidden. And the meme had top text: Tony and Black Widow die. Bottom text is Captain America becomes an old man. And like I
Damn.
like it was I was like in one sentence. So I saw that.
How do you report someone for a war crime? Like,
Yeah, actually.
I was so angry because I'm like, damn it, that's gonna be real. And my friend who saw it early enough, I'm like, is that real? And he tried to convince me it wasn't, but he's the worst actor I've ever met. So I'm like, all right, thanks, Mike. You pretty much just confirmed it. So
damn, dude, that's rough. I mean,
so I knew it.
Thankfully, it still doesn't reduce the impact of a lot of that stuff.
I mean, here's the thing: when I saw Hawkeye and Black Widow going for the Soul Stone, I'm like,
Ooh.
all right, well.
Oh man, yeah, you're right.
The thing is, that scene wasn't that long of them trying to decide. It was honestly, it's 2.5 minutes of them being like, who should it be?
Yeah, but I actually really got into the flip flop. Like, I was like, oh look, there goes Clint, and then bam, last second, and then oh, he shoots the exploding arrow to knock her back. Like, that was some back and forth.
Nah, I knew she was gonna die. You want to know why?
Family. No, I don't know.
Well, no, all right, no. There's two reasons. One of the reasons is like, yeah, you ain't gonna kill him because they already showed that he had plot armor in blah, blah, in Avengers 2 when he was about to die and Quicksilver just like saves himself for him.
I mean, people argue probably to this day that Hawkeye should have died there and left Quicksilver alive.
Hawkeye should have died there, and honestly, he should have died in this one too. In fact, I think it would have been better because I think, and me and the boys from our office were talking about it. We think that because they put like over the years like Black Widow like on a pedestal, like, oh, she could be like the new Nick Fury, right? Like she could be like the next like leader of the pack, and they kill her off, and who do they bring in? Captain fucking Marvel. Which,
God, I hate her.
by the fucking, here we go. Now we're getting into some salt. Like the perfect segue, man. They basically used her in the movie the same way they used her, like in the fucking movies. They just shoehorned her.
So they
Hey,
did
how
a
do
really
we deal
good
with this
job
big
convincing us
spaceship?
that we had to watch Captain Marvel to get
Yeah,
what was going to
fucking
happen.
troll. No, you didn't at all.
I could have watched it the same amount that I watched
Yep.
both of the Ant-Man movies, which is not watching them,
You're
and I've
correct.
understood it just
It
as
would have been
much.
better to watch Wasp, because then you would have had Ant-Man and the Wasp, because then you would have had an idea about the time travel shit.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got more value
Yeah,
out of Wasp than
What's
Captain
a Pym particle? Hey, look, you saw Pym. Does that mean anything? Like, no.
It was easy enough to piece together as someone who
I'm
hadn't
sure,
seen any of
but more than Captain fucking Marvel. Jesus, she
Like, what
just
did
shows
Captain
up
Marvel
to do
do?
nothing. She's
She
the
come- she
MacGuffin that kills
shows
the
up-
ship.
And I hate how fucking arrogant her character is. Like
I
I feel like she could be cool and everything, but like when she shows up at the beginning of the movie, it's like, all right, well, we don't know who you are. Like, what are you gonna do for us? Or like, what's different? And like, oh, well, you didn't have me. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
dude, when
like,
Thanos
literally
fucking
everybody-
smashes her with the Power Stone, I was like,
But
yeah, that's okay.
everybody in the movie, like every character in that movie, is already past that arrogant shit.
Yeah.
I feel like her character is actually stuck in phase 1.
Remember when I said her movie was a phase 1 movie?
100% serious here. Like it's wild because like that's some shit that like literally phase 1 Tony Stark or like at anyone would literally say. And I love how she got humbled by the Power Stone.
It was pretty good.
Fucking
Also,
humble.
that move of him ripping the stone out, smashing her, and then
sick.
putting it back, that was pretty fucking great.
Very sweet.
I was laughing too because I was like, wait, because they're struggling. I'm like, why doesn't he just like bop her with the oh, it immediately happened.
I will say a lot of people complain about why do you have to close the fist, but I kind of like how they never outright say that's a rule. It's just implied by everyone saying don't let him close his fist.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's easy to say, like, why couldn't he have just used the stone? It's right there. But, like, no, we've established he has to close his fist to activate the gauntlet.
Yeah, or some kind of.
Although,
shit.
Well, didn't Tony build that particular gauntlet? Like,
well, that's the idea, is that's why he was able to steal the 5 stones in, like, a microsecond. You know? Like, right at the end.
what I'm trying to say is it makes sense that they would know how to activate it, given that he built it.
Well, no, I'm saying it's just the rule of it being a gauntlet or exerting your will on the stones or something. Because it doesn't make any sense that Tony would be like, yeah, why don't I make it only work off a snap? Like, no, if he can make rules for it, why not just code it so that only someone who's like biologically authorized by him can use them? I don't think it works that way.
Yeah.
That's getting too deep.
It may have just been a simple how does the power actually flow through? Anyway, regardless, moving on.
I will say. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to piggyback off the Captain Marvel thing. I want to know what you guys felt about that femme fatale moment there.
Jeez, can we not even? It's so. Ugh.
Nah, we gotta talk about
I'm
it,
gonna
Tim, because you know
acknowledge it.
why? Because they didn't earn that scene.
So it seemed kind of corny, but apparently girls really liked it, and I think that matters more than my opinion.
I don't think it's right.
It doesn't matter.
I don't want to call the sexist for this, but it ain't right. And I told Leslie this. I was like, as cool as that scene was,
oh my god.
I'm like, as cool as that scene was, my problem is, how the fuck did they get there? And you're telling me all of a sudden every major like Marvel female character, Spider-Man gets in trouble, all of a sudden they just show up.
Your
from
moms
all
are
sorts
here.
of battlefield. Yeah, right. Where does it come from?
Because
why does
dude,
the
it
Mantis
literally
girl...
summoned. Dude, all I could think was, what the fuck is Mantis doing in this lineup for anybody?
What are you doing there? What are you doing there?
She
Pepper,
just comes
why
in doing her
there?
fingers crossed thing and just kind of walks forward, and it's like, ugh, like if you did this with anyone except Captain Marvel, who doesn't need it.
I could see, and that's the thing too. I could see if like freaking Valkyrie, like because Valkyrie was like right there.
Sure, let her ride her horse.
There. Black Panther's sister and Michonne.
Yeah.
If they showed up, that'd be fine. You can even whatever.
Why are
man,
you
like
brigading for Captain Marvel? She's like,
I'm just
so
saying, like
overpowered.
It was fine. The scene was so short.
No, but it was so blatant.
Even more blatant than I'm just a girl.
It was more blatant than I'm just a girl. And I'm like, all right, I'm not debating that the scene was cool, but like I get it. I get that, like, okay, there needs to be more female representation and all this other stuff. I get it, but man, like it really just, when it's jarring, and I don't like it.
You know what's funny? It actually worked a lot better in Infinity War, when Scarlet Witch is getting beat up by the alien, and then and then Black Widow and Michonne show up, and she's not alone.
I like how we don't remember her name, but we remember Michonne.
Yeah, Michonne. I mean,
yeah.
But like that was a great
right, Tim.
That was a one-line thing, and then it's just girls fighting and they're cool.
That was a much better scene, because
instead of look at that girl, 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 we have another girl, we have another girl, we have another girl.
Because they literally just show up, and instead, like you said, like in Infinity War, it's like, oh, they're just in the fight now, like this is happening.
Look, the two people who showed up happen to be two really cool women who are badass and perfect for this fight. Not
and then fucking Scarlet
Mantis
Witch just comes
coming
and drops
to save.
a ship, and I'm like, yo, this is dope.
And then it's like, oh, Mantis is gonna help Captain Marvel get to this time machine. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It wasn't like it. It wasn't a deserved scene.
It's nothing against the woman who plays Mantis or anything. I'm not attacking her personally or anything. I'm just saying, powers wise.
Yeah.
Like, what is
attacking her character?
What is someone who put Thanos to sleep by sitting on his head gonna do for Captain Marvel in the middle of a running battle against like the biggest army in the universe?
I'm telling you, if you just put him to sleep one more time, We could have got the Thanos ending we all wanted.
Look, I'm just gonna throw it in there just to radically wrench the topic away. As someone who is, I know for a fact, Iron Man is the reason that I'm a fan of the Marvel movies. I don't think I'm alone in that, and I would honestly say, like, that first Iron Man movie is part of the reason I'm in 3D modeling, because I loved that hologram shit in the first movie so much. I totally cried and loved it when Tony said the line and then did the snap. That was one of the greatest moments in the whole movie for me.
I am Iron Man.
It was so perfect. And then just the end credits sound. Val actually had no idea what it was, but I knew right away that it was Tony in the cave.
Oh, I skipped out because everyone told me there was nothing.
There isn't an end credit scene, but at the very end of the credits, all you hear is the hammer on like the metal of him hammering out the mask at the very end. It's not even, there's nothing on screen. It's just black, and you just hear the tink of the metal. And I was like, that's perfect.
Iron Man 1 was so good.
You still can't beat it. It's like one of the best still. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm hearing an echo now.
It was good.
Oh, sorry, I got close to the mic.
It's okay. It's already gone. I just heard
no,
crazy.
Iron Man 1 like just holds up.
It's impossible to believe it's still so good, and I don't think that's favoritism. It is still really good.
It's a well-written movie. I'll say this: the CG is starting to not hold up that great anymore.
That's very correct.
But the actual like plot and acting and just everything about the movie, if you ignore the CG, it's gonna hold up for a long time.
The CG's not bad. It's just not.
It's getting to the point where it's starting to look.
Yeah, when you see like Nano Iron in the last two movies, like you see the nano suit, and then you go back and you see that, and you're like, it's a little rough. It's a little rough, but it's okay.
Rough. I mean, hey man, that's like 10 years ago, man. Shit goes a long way in 10 years.
But like you go back and you watch him doing flight tests.
I mean, say it's not even the CG. It's more just that motion capture has come so far that like nothing looks like rigid or weird anymore. It all looks like fluid animation.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
No, you said it came so far, and then I'm like, unless you're Game of Thrones.
Oh no.
The CG wasn't bad in it.
Anyway. Oh, if only Clegane Bowl looked a lot more real.
Dude, the Club Gain, yo.
Save it for next week.
I know. It
looked bad, all right? It looked terrible.
It looked like they were clearly in front of a green screen. It was so bad.
I hated it. All right, let's go back to
anyway.
Go back to
So, this is fun fact, just because I was watching some of the behind-the-scenes stuff from Infinity War, I forgot that when they were acting it out, Thanos' actors is there, but they have this giant Thanos head above him.
The cardboard cutout is so funny.
And I was watching all the behind-the-scenes clip, and I'm like, how the fuck? Like these actors are professionals. If you can maintain character while looking at this like cardboard cutout of Thanos' face and like acting against it.
Actually, if you go back and look at Age of Ultron, they did the same thing, except it's just two glowing red dots as Ultron's eyes above James Spader.
So actually, for this movie, they did the same thing for Hulk, where Mark Ruffalo's acting, but he's got just the rig on him, so that way they can just motion capture him as Hulk.
God, Hulk. So here's something
about his character, yeah.
So one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie is Hulk trying to be angry and smash stuff in New York. That was
oh my god, that was
was so perfectly funny. Oh my, smash, push.
Come on, take the picture. No, he totally look at him.
Oh, that dude, that joke was great. Not gonna lie, that joke started to get uncomfortable by the end of it. I was kind of like, "Oh,
I know that was."
But that's why it was good.
No, I loved it.
I totally understand that's exactly what they wanted, but I was like, "Can you just just let him?" Ant-Man, please.
No, you know why it's so uncomfortable? Because you've been in that situation.
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
Everybody's been in that situation before.
I didn't actually super love Hulk. I'm kind of disappointed.
I mean, I thought it was a great movie because I like Bruce Banner, but it felt like the Hulk got deleted.
There's no more Hulk. Yeah,
that's why I didn't like.
Banner is just big and buff now.
That said, I do like Banner as a character, so it was funny seeing Hulk banner,
Yep.
but it felt like we lost a character there.
Yep. Like, what is Banner gonna do if he can't go Hulk mode?
Yeah.
Like, what is the
Now it's
point then?
now
He's just
it's just
strong
Banner without the risk of accidentally hurting someone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, cool. Like and then I got speaking of which, Ancient One. That was really cool to see her again and just have
I
her
was not
straight
expecting
up.
to see her again.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wasn't at all. But then as soon as you see someone using magic to flick them off the building, you're like, oh shit. And then she's, I'm here to see Stephen Strange. Oh, you're 5 years too early. And it's like, damn, she really did use that time stone all the fucking time. God, there's just so much in this movie. It's like, I mean, we kind of talked around it a little bit. Tyler, you mentioned it before, but I mean, I think the greatest moment everybody saw in theaters, the hammer. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that everybody went nuts.
that is the best.
It's,
Yeah, because hype as hell, man.
who cares if you know it's coming though? Like, it's still the greatest moment ever.
Well,
and then-
I always knew.
And then Thor
Deep down,
does
I always knew. I was like, and I kind of knew it before. I'm like, yo, this is the last chance they're gonna have Cap raise
Yep.
the hammer.
and they do it. As
And
soon
they did it.
I turned to Val the second the hammer hit the ground when Thor was losing to Thanos, and they very clearly show that the hammer's on the ground sitting there. I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. And then the combo moves, just like you almost want to jump to your
the
feet.
lighting was so cool.
When he does like the slam, like he pushes him back and knocks him down, and then reaches up and just slams it down from the sky. Oh my god! And the shield combos. Oh my god! There's so much. Like hitting the shield with the hammers, and then like bouncing the hammer off the shield. Oh my! It was so cool. And Thor pulling the exact same reaction he did in Ragnarok when he sees Hulk. He's like,
Oh yeah,
when he's like, yes, he's a friend from work.
he's a
And then
friend from work.
I knew it.
You get the genuine.
Yeah, the genuine total
Chris
excitement.
Hemsworth is really good at that.
Dude, he's
Like,
great.
Yeah.
I was gonna start us down this path before. The movie ends. Obviously, you guys saw the credits, at least the beginning of the credits, where each of the original 6 Avengers signs and everything. You know,
mhm.
you guys saw that part. Freeman, how fast
Wait.
did you run out?
I just
I ran
immediately
the
left the
fuck out,
theater.
too.
Yeah,
Oh,
someone
wow.
told me someone told me there was absolutely nothing in or after the credits. So I left.
There's nothing major, but it's they give special attention to the original 6 Avengers, where they all actually like have a few seconds showing different shots of them from the films, and then they sign, like they actually do the animated signing thing over a still picture of themselves, like basically signing out as the character. But it's kind of funny because like I guess we should start slowing down because it is actually after 10 already.
Yeah.
But is it weird to say I almost kind of don't know where we go from here? Like, we still have all these characters, but are the Avengers still a thing?
Probably not.
But that feels so weird.
We're probably done with like the big Avenger. Everyone comes in for a crossover movie, and it's just going to be more of they will have like you'll have Black Panther 2, but Hero X is going to show up in Black Panther 2. Kind of like how Ragnarok did it, where it was a Thor movie.
So
but
is
they
that
kinda
what we're
snuck
going
Hulk
to?
into it.
Everyone's just in
pretty
team
sure
up
we're
and
gonna do
crossover
that.
movies?
I don't think we're going to have most ambitious crossover movies anymore. Instead, it's going to be slightly more reasonable crossover movies.
I mean, I totally get that it's been like over 10 years, 22 movies and everything, and obviously it would be years and years and years before we saw anything like this again, but I don't know, it does kind of feel like the end of an era, even though Hulk and Thor are still around. Hawkeye's technically still alive. I don't know,
But,
it just,
I
it
think
just
it's
feels
not-
weird.
It's not gonna star him though. I think in the show it's supposed to be his daughter, supposedly.
Oh, I didn't even know there was going to be a show of him.
There's supposed to be like a Hawkeye show. There's the Falcon Bucky buddy cop
oh my
show.
God. Only Val and Leslie really are excited for
Oh,
that.
and me.
Really?
And me.
Oh my god!
Really?
Dude, no. I was I was in love with the idea when they first came out, and I immediately remembered back to Civil War. Hey, can you move your seat up? No.
I don't know. I just
like I was like, yo, I get that's actually pretty fun. Like I like that scene, and I was like, yo, if I could get more of those scenes.
I mean, let's be
sure.
real. Probably going to sign up for Disney's streaming service because, of course, I mean, we have to watch the Loki TV show if nothing else.
Oh God.
But like,
Oh,
I don't care
no.
about any of this.
I also no, I'm not. That's not enough for me to get the subscription though. I'll be honest.
but like, see, I'm like, I mean, I know I have to for Val, but like the Sam and Bucky one, I've never given any shit about Sam at all. And as soon as Bucky was like resolved, I just
That's what I'm wondering.
man, do I
why-
not
Yo,
care.
here's my
No.
hot take. I don't actually give two shits about Bucky and can't figure out why everyone cares about him
It's
so much.
just because he's hot and he has the beard and
It's
long
literally
hair.
because
That's
he's hot and
sexist.
he's got the beard. Yeah, I mean, no man.
Wow, spoiler, Freeman, that happens.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me that you don't watch a certain show for waifus, man? Like, come on, man.
They're not real people.
Come on, man. Yeah, exactly. And this one's real.
Freeman, I was watching fucking clips, or I found a video last night that I showed Val of just funny Chris Evans moments, mostly from filming Marvel, but even going back to like the original Fantastic Four and shit. But like a bunch of them were clips from him being on Ellen, and it's just him and Scarlett Johansson, and they flash hot like topless photos of Chris Hemsworth on the or of Chris Evans on the fucking screen. And it's like that's all it is. That's
Yeah,
that's
you're
all Bucky
telling
is.
me- yeah, you're telling me you didn't look at that helicopter scene in Civil or in
Yep,
Soldier,
there
and
it
you were
is.
like,
Oh,
mm.
also Freeman,
Is
the
that
amount
what
of
you were like watching that scene?
Well,
Freeman.
I mean, nah, totally not, man.
Remember
Nah,
my
not
comment
at
from
all.
before? No,
Not at all. Not at all,
no,
man.
Freeman. It's also the fangirls on Pinterest who write and read tons of fanfic about those
I
two.
don't want to
Oh
go
my
there.
God,
So,
All right,
Tyler,
now
only because
I'm-
you know Leslie has written some.
Endgame was a good movie. I give it 5 out of 7 potatoes.
Only because
That's
it's
a
kind of
legitimate
related.
scoring
No,
rating.
5 out
Did-
of 7, the perfect Reddit score.
Did you guys
Yeah.
watch?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my god!
That's where I got the metric from.
Did
That's
you
right.
guys watch the Far From Home with Avengers spoilers trailer?
I
No,
did.
I haven't watched it yet.
I did. I mean, Freeman, you've seen Endgame, so it doesn't really matter. Basically, it just gets a lot into what it's like for Peter now that Tony's gone. Like,
There's
literally.
one
No, go ahead.
I was like, there's one thing though that they bring up,
Oh,
and I'm
Oh, boy.
already upset.
yeah. I believe that.
You probably already know what it is, and it has
is
to
it
do with
is it the-
Mysterio.
Oh, is it the multiverse thing?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that already. I
that
haven't even
literally
seen the
got me
trailer.
flaccid.
Apparently, the
Like, I ain't gonna
Infinity
lie.
War writers didn't know about that when they were doing Far From Home. So, but
I
yeah,
did.
the snap.
Everybody did. It's the
I
only
mean,
way they were
as
gonna
soon
go.
as Loki vanished, and it's like, well, are we doing the multiverse Loki where he survived as the TV show?
I mean, what do you mean they didn't know? Of course they knew. They
Why?
had to have known.
Look,
Even
oh,
Stevie Wonder, who can't even watch the movies, would know.
God damn.
What a comment.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Um.
All I'm saying is obvious.
Yeah, but like.
Yeah, no, because Marvel, and Marvel wants to do it, and that's why. And then that's why I'm like, actually, after Far From Home is over, I'm gonna just take a break from these like superhero.
I've heard a
movies.
lot of that. I've heard
Like
a lot of that.
I'm done, man. I can't
Yeah.
do this anymore.
The problem is a lot of people are kind of burning out because superhero movies tend to be pretty similar, and without the whole appeal of well, it's all going to come together for Avengers 6. Without that,
Yeah.
there's nothing driving people. To keep
It
up with
honestly
what's
comes
about
down to
happen?
what Far From Home breadcrumbs can lay. Because, I mean, Thanos has been there since Avengers 1. The stones have been there since Cap? Cap
Since
one?
Cap, yeah.
Yeah, because Thor didn't have any.
All right, we got
no.
only one choice left. We got to bring back the villain from Iron Man 1. He's got to be the CU villain.
Freaking
Jebediah.
Iron
Big
Monger.
Lebowski himself.
Yeah. Dude,
Dude.
maybe they need to stop because they're running out of actors to pull into these movies because they've burned up everybody.
Dude, they use so many actors.
It's fucking
Yo, I mean,
crazy.
if they want to use the multiverse to bring back
Oh no, they
what's his
can't.
face, No, nah, not him. I'm
I don't care who you're saying they
Killmonger.
can't. Ugh.
No, if they can
What?
bring back Jeff
Like
Goldblum from Ragnarok, that'd
They're
be
not
pretty
going to
cool.
bring anybody back. Well,
they're not
think
gonna
about
bring
it this
anyone.
way. Now, I don't know anything about Far From Home. All I've heard is that people who know who Mysterio is and know what his deal is, he could be totally fucking lying.
He could be. He could.
That's
be
what I've
lying.
heard, is that Mysterio is just big illusion boy
He
and
is
big liar man, and it's like maybe he's just lying about being from another universe.
Well, that's what everybody said, but
I don't think they would do that
I
in the
don't believe
trailer,
that.
but I would like to think maybe we don't have to deal with multiverse bullshit. I'd
I'm
prefer
sorry, but
that.
anytime anyone says Mysterio, all I hear is from the South Park episode Mysterion, where everyone's just like, "Who's Mysterion?" And I can't unhear it.
Jesus.
Lol.
My curse.
My goodness.
Moving on.
All right.
Moving on.
Speaking of moving on, we should all move on a little bit.
So we want closing thoughts here.
About the movie or just weeks?
I meant about the movie,
Oh,
just
sure.
to wrap up the topic.
What do you think, Freeman? Or-
So I loved it. I think my friends and I came to our consensus last night. The only thing we didn't like about the movie was Thanos was portrayed so well in the first movie, having gone through loss and finally completing his goal, that when you meet time travel Thanos, it's just like
he's boring.
He's not as good of a villain, and we think that's the only real flaw with the movie. But the thing is, we watch the movie more to see the heroes and not necessarily to see Thanos be defeated, because
Well, exactly. It's the flip of Infinity
you already
War.
got it 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, it's the inverse of Infinity War. Like I said, you have one run through thread, and then this one they pull it all together at the end.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stole your point. Whoops.
That's the point of this podcast, is to talk about it. But yeah, no, that's our main pain point about this. The rest of the movie we love, even with the whole time travel stuff, because I have to explain it to my one friend who's just like absolutely terrible at understanding time travel.
Time Heist, greatest name for a time travel thing ever.
I'm so happy about how much the plot they kept under wraps.
Oh yeah.
Like going in and not knowing this was going to be a time heist
Dude,
movie,
when
it so good.
Thanos dies like 10 minutes into the movie, and then it's like 5 years later. It's like, Jesus, this is not how I expected this movie to go.
When they drop the time skip, I'm like, holy fuck, what are they doing with this movie?
What is happening? Yeah, I went for the head.
Yeah, that was my big takeaway. Is that was ballsy, and it paid off and was done really well.
I don't know if I don't think we're ever going to have, even if DC tries, even if like the Godzilla universe tries, I don't think there's ever going to be, I know first Avengers was like this, but I don't think there's ever going to be a singular moment like this in film ever.
I'm so happy we lived through it.
Yep. It's going to be weird to like show future generations. I was actually having a conversation with Leslie about Game of Thrones showing future generations Game of Thrones, and it's kind of the same thing for Avengers. We're living in this golden age of like flowing content. Obviously Game of Thrones we're going to talk about next week, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be different for like future generations to be able to binge through all the movies. Like, I remember seeing Iron Man 1 in theaters twice. It was like the first or second movie I'd ever done that with. Ever. And that was in high school. And it's like, now I'm living on my own with my girlfriend and in our own house. And
now an old fart watching Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, right.
See, but now you're bringing up the points why I would keep watching these movies, because it's like, wait a minute. I want to see more Doctor Strange.
Nah, I'm an old man. I'm tired.
That's fair. That's super reasonable.
I did my tour of duty, and now it's over.
I think so. Marvel announced. This is pretty related. Marvel announced the release dates for all the movies coming up to 2022, and I think it's 2 every year going forward for all this time. They didn't announce what a single one is.
Yeah, it's all just unnamed Marvel movie.
Yes, untitled Marvel movie. We know there's a Black Panther 2 and a Black Widow movie in there. What? And a Guardians 3 somewhere. But I don't know if we know of anything else. I don't know. Maybe anyway, I'm rambling. I'm very glad we saw Endgame. I really want to see it again in theaters so that I don't have to focus as much on plot and can kind of just enjoy the spectacle of it again. Because I can still go back and watch Infinity War and have an absolute blast with it. But I think we'll keep watching the Marvel movies, but it does feel like there's kind of a spark gone after all this time. But it's amazing that that existed in the first place, and like you said, Freeman, I'm really glad I got to see it. I'm kind of jealous of what future generations might get to see, but we'll always have this, and I think it was very impressive for what it was.
I'll bring up a controversial movie series for this particular YouTube channel, but I always bother my dad about what it was like seeing Star Wars: The Original Trilogy like as it was coming out, and it's one of those things where I wish I was there for that.
Yep. Oh, if I could time travel, I'd probably go to all the Star Wars premieres.
Like, so at least we could say we were here for this.
Yep. Every generation has something like this.
Hell.
Yeah,
Shit.
we know. That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, true.
Tyler, what'd you think of Endgame?
I thought it was good. I don't know. For some reason, I started losing steam like after a while. Like creeping up to like Infinity War, I was still pretty excited.
Mhm.
But then after like Infinity War was done, I'm like, all right, I'm tired now. I'm tired of seeing these movies.
Same idea as Steve. And
Like
Tony.
like as much as like I think it's great, and I watched these movies. Shit, I watched these movies even before there was a cinematic universe. I watched all the Hulk movies. I watched all the shit that came before that. The Punisher movie, even though I kind of like that one.
And there's certainly been some not great Marvel ones.
No,
a lot of that stuff in the middle was.
I think
all
the only
Phase
one.
2 stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but no one saw that I know the first Captain America movie.
I personally don't love it. I know a lot of people who think it's okay. I think it's one of the weakest in Phase 1.
No, the first Captain America movie.
Wait, are you talking about like before?
Are you talking about like Red Brown from like 50 years ago?
Yes.
That doesn't
out of here.
Get out.
That doesn't count.
Fucking wow.
Or
That
Howard
doesn't count.
the Duck.
Ugh, get out.
Yeah,
the less we ever
right?
see of that fucking creature, the better.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, I've been watching, like, I watched all those movies. Like, I'd been watching them since what, 2002 when the first Hulk came out. Like, I'm pretty much like spent.
I think. No, go ahead. Sorry, I'll
say as much as it's cool and everything. As much as I like what they did, it's cool to be around for it. But like, now I'm like done. But overall, like as a movie, objectively. I think it was good. I liked it. I wouldn't say it was like a 9 or even maybe like a high. If I were to score it, maybe like an 8. Definitely way above average. Definitely ambitious. It did all these things.
It's like a high 8, but you rate it, but it weighs so much more because it's like the 25% grade in a class for the final.
Yeah, like
it's like the 8 that matters.
Cinematically, what it did and what it meant, like you can't get past that feat alone, right? Like especially like at the very end scene where like they're panning across to like everyone at Tony Stark's funeral.
Oh my god, the fucking proof that my god, that actually got me super hard.
Proof Tony Stark has a heart. Loves you 3000.
Dude,
I cried. I actually cried.
Freeman, hold on, I gotta say this on air because it was one of the funniest things ever. So, me and Val went home to hang out with basically Tyler, Luigi, and Leslie for like 5 hours. We met up with Tyler before Leslie got off work, and while we were hanging out with him, I found out where I Love You 3000 comes from. And I told Tyler and Val, and then Tyler had me retell it the same exact way with Leslie later. And I watched the same... it was so funny watching the same steps of grief that Val went through a second time on Leslie. So the first theory that people had was that if Spider-Man Far From Home had a certain runtime, but it was like super short, the Marvel Cinematic Universe would have had 3,000 minutes. And that's what people thought it might have been.
Okay.
Then there was some other theory that wasn't as good. And so I told that to Leslie first, and she was like, oh, that's kind of neat, and that's a little sad. And then I'm like, but actually, Robert Downey Jr.'s kids say that to him.
Aw.
And I said that,
Oh.
and Leslie's face, we were sitting in this, like, creepy Friendlies down the street from Leslie's house eating dinner, and Leslie's face just, huh. Same as Val's did, of just like, oh, that makes it so much worse.
I don't know. I think that's sweet.
It's super sweet. That's why it hurts. That's why it
Well, it
hurts
doesn't
them.
make me sad. It makes
No, it does.
whatever.
It's not supposed to make you sad, but it's supposed to just make you feel.
Just make it throw up. You know? I
yeah,
mean,
make it.
it happens.
You
man.
know how Leslie's
Shit.
birds throw up to show affection? It's the same
Yeah,
idea.
you know,
Oh my
same
God,
thing,
it's
same thing, same thing, same thing. But that being said, I liked it. This year has been like so far pretty decent with movies, and with that, I'm looking forward to John Wick 3 this weekend. Listen, Tim,
I
you
know it's John Wick, but
Godzilla is your John Wick. I know.
no, it okay.
I
Look,
know. I'm not wrong though.
dude. You see the trailers and you're like, anyway.
Yo, listen. I know I gotta bring a raincoat and blinders to that.
Get
movie.
out.
I know.
Oh my god.
Because you're
Get
gonna
the
be
fuck
next
outta
to
here.
me whacking it.
Dude. If we find an IMAX that we can get to from that convention, that's gonna be.
That's
Pretty sick.
fine. All I'm saying is that be glad that you're not next to me at John Wick this weekend.
Anyway, all I was gonna
Not
say
the splash zone.
when I was gonna interrupt
I
Tyler,
told Leslie, like, you gotta
keep an
come
eye
with me.
out.
Wear a poncho to this
problem.
movie.
Anyway,
Yeah, bring a poncho. It's
all
like,
I was gonna
like the Blue Man
oh my
Group.
god, all I was gonna say was the only thing that this makes worse is I don't understand how DC thinks anyone's gonna give a shit about their universe. Like, how do you go watch a DC movie of them trying to build their universe after seeing how Endgame turns out?
You can't
That
top
Joker
it.
movie
I
kind
don't-
of looks a little dope though. I ain't
Yeah, but that doesn't.
I ain't
You could watch some some Marvel movies on their own, but are you gonna watch like Justice League Triple Threat or some bullshit? Like,
nah.
Let's be real here. We need the Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe to even hope to
Dude,
come close.
True,
Anyway.
true.
let's
That's
do 30-second weeks because we're already over 2 hours and I gotta edit it down after.
Yeah, I was
so.
trying to lead into my
I
week
know.
with John Wick 3, and then
Yep.
I didn't.
All right, well then
That
continue with your
works.
week. Go ahead, do it.
I'm seeing John Wick 3 twice, y'all.
Yep.
That's basically my weekend. What else is happening? I've been making reckless purchases.
Oh no.
I don't know why. It's just a thing that's happening right now.
It happens.
Yeah, and it happens when you just go out and then you impulse buy a gun and a new smartwatch.
Oh.
Oh, what watch did you get?
Boy.
I got the was it the Gear 3 Frontier?
Oh, okay, because I've been debating on impulse buying. I think it's just called the Galaxy Watch, like the new one they have.
Oh yeah, the Galaxy Watch. I heard good things about it. I will tell you, I like the Gear 3 so far.
Nice.
It's like a little bit behind supposedly, but I got it when it was on sale for about like $213.
That's decent. Considering it still goes for like $270 or something.
A little bit higher. I think it was marked
it
down
still in
from
the
like
300 range?
350. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah. So I mean, I got a good deal.
that's a pretty
on
good
that.
deal.
Yeah, you know. So I was like, fuck it. And I'm like, oh man, this gun's on sale. Yo, the fuck it.
My God.
Bad purchases. I finished. Tim, also in addition to completing The Witcher, I also finished A Time of Contempt.
Nice.
So now I'm moving on to Baptism of Fire, and for you listeners, it's that's the Witcher series. That was the second novel
Nice.
or fourth book really out of the entire series. So
Nice.
yeah, so that's
I almost forgot.
basically it.
Because you hadn't last time we actually spoke. You hadn't met your boy in Blood and Wine yet. Do you finally know who I'm talking about when I kept saying you're gonna hang out with your boy?
I'm talking about Dandelion, cause
No. Who cares about
not
him?
Dandelion. Are you talking about Regis? 'Cause
Yes!
I never met Regis.
What? That's
Regis is not in Time of Contempt. Aiden
no.
told me
In
you
Blood
meet
and Wine. In Blood and Wine.
Yeah. What, Regis?
Yeah.
Regis is my dude, but like you were hyping him up like I would know him.
Well, I couldn't remember
I
what
don't
book he was
know.
in. I thought you'd met him in the books by then.
Nah, apparently Aiden told me he was in Baptism of Fire.
Okay, well, you'll
He's
meet
like,
him.
you're gonna meet Regis in Baptism of
Damn,
Fire. I was
that
like,
fucking
okay.
sucks then that you met Regis in the game first, because it meant a
I
lot to me
know.
to see him again.
I kind of wish I saw him in I read Baptism of Fire.
Yeah, because
first.
spoiler, Geralt doesn't know he's a vampire right away.
I
Way to
figured
spoil it.
yeah, way to spoil it, dick.
You
It's fine. I'm
played the
not gonna remember these
game. You
names.
Actually, no lie though, it's pretty immediate. Like once you like meet Regis in game, you know he's a vampire.
yeah, because
immediately.
Geralt knows who he is.
No,
He's
I meant
Geralt's
like
buddy.
the player, like me who didn't know who
Oh,
Regis was.
well,
I was
yeah,
like, oh, this
he's-
dude's a vampire. Like 1,000. Like I knew.
You mean 3,000?
Oh.
Oh my god.
Wait, what else am I-
Anyway,
wait, hold on. I think. Oh yeah, I'm working because I hate myself. And then I got
Not that
D&D.
you hate yourself. It's that you love the money.
No, I'm
We
not
gotta
even. I'm
finally
not
play
even getting
D&D.
that much money, honestly.
oh my, Tyler, we forgot to talk about the. Did you see the statue of Geralt for the merch shop that CD Projekt opened?
Ooh, what?
I'm
No.
gonna. Okay, keep talking. I'm gonna send you.
Man, you're talking about me.
Keep going. Keep going.
Tyler,
Keep
you
going.
shouldn't be. The purchases is not a good idea.
Tyler,
Nah,
this is
you do
more
you.
worth than a gun. Keep going though. I'll send you the link.
Damn. But yeah, no, that's basically what I'm doing though. That's my eventful
nope,
weekend
that's a
actually.
video.
So yeah, Freeman, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm supposed to be
Just
doing
got back
more.
from a vacation.
Yeah, so I got back from London. This is not even talking about next week. This is last week. So I was in London for an entire week with my brother and mom. Did a lot of sightseeing. I need to show you guys the photos next time we're all in person because I took some really good ones. But yeah, London's super cool. It was actually a bank holiday weekend we went on, so it ended up being that a lot of other people from Europe were touring London at the time. And because of that, there were a ton of French people there. Like I spent a whole day where I didn't hear a single person speaking English. It was all French the whole day.
Weird.
And it was really jarring. But overall, it was a lot of fun. I came back and it felt like nothing. I didn't miss anything when I was gone, mostly because I saw Endgame literally 2 hours before my flight, just to make sure I was caught up with all the memes. But there's not too much going on right now. Catching up on some of the anime I missed. I'm actually dropping some of the shows in this season that kind of suck.
Ooh.
And only really keep them with the decent ones. And I use decent very loosely. But yeah, I need to get back into Final Fantasy X before I forget where I was and then can't continue playing that game.
Where
So that's-
are you?
So I'm about to fight Seymour again. I'm trying to
The
remember
second
exactly.
time.
Yes, the second time.
Fuck Seymour.
Like we're
Fuck
running away with
Seymour.
Yuna, and then what's his? Kimari stayed back, and now we're like, oh, let's go meet up with Kimari, and we're gonna go fight.
Oh
Seymour
yeah,
one more time.
man.
I fucking
Fuck.
hate Seymour. Like
He's such a
it's
fucking
it's like
faggot.
no, it's not even that. It's just like I can't stand his voice.
I can't stand his
Like, I
voice. I
can't
can't
stand
stand his
his voice.
character, and I can't stand his move set when you actually fight him. Like it
Oh, dude,
bothers me.
he's like bustedly strong for no good reason.
He is like the first one. If you know the trick, the first time if you know the trick, like I guess he's fine.
Oh
But
yeah,
then, like,
he dookied on me until I realized like using null element was supposed to be the strategy, or that he had like a
Yeah,
cycle
no
to what he
one-
was doing.
No one tells you that. No one tells you
Like,
that.
but like I went through the whole fight and we get back to hit like so you fight him, then he summons, then you fight him again. I got that third part where you fight him in, and he just instantly one shot my team, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like it was a half an hour from the last save point. Like,
Bro, that's not
you
even the
can't do
hard
this
one.
to me.
That's
I
not
know,
even the hard one.
That's why like I'm gonna be a little bitch and read the spoiler guide for how to beat him.
Don't you dare.
I'm not trying to lose hours of my life to this.
I
shit.
don't care. You're gonna suffer like the rest of us did.
Oh my god.
You're gonna do it. If I find out, you tell me. I'll be upset with you.
God damn it. All right, fine.
All right.
Just do it.
Fine. Anyway, but that's it for me.
All right. Before I say anything, Tyler, can you please click on the link I sent in Discord?
I did. And how much is
See, there it is.
Tyler
Tyler.
is 219,000 euros?
Pretty sure it's like a 250. Tyler, this is the only thing like this they've released. The only figure that exists on their
It's
store.
just shy of $250.
Oh,
So
man.
for those at home, CD Projekt Red launched a merch store for Cyberpunk, Gwent, and Witcher stuff. And for whatever insane reason, the only thing that's not like t-shirts, mugs, or bracelets is a alternate universe Geralt where he's a Ronin. He's got samurai swords and like this Japanese outfit
Some
and everything.
weeb shit going on
And
here.
it's the coolest fucking thing ever. And I don't know
really
how
want
Tyler.
it.
See? What did I fucking called it.
I do really want it, but
It's-
like I ain't gonna
it's-
buy it. But I really want it.
Hint, hint, guys. Please get me this.
Yo, I'm not. Yeah, right. Please get me this,
Dude, this is so hot. He's even got the 2 swords on his belt in the different fucking color sheaths.
Oh my god,
It's
this is
so-
actually a really nice statue.
It's so nice.
Like this is actually one of the nicest statues. Like I remember there was like a gut statue I saw a while back that I really liked. I also really liked.
This is why I was shocked you didn't see this thing yet, because it's like they announced that, hey, we opened a merch store, and for whatever reason, we're not doing regular Geralt, we're doing Ronin Geralt.
I don't go on the internet, so
Okay.
I mean,
My week, honestly, it's been freaking crazy. Val and I dropped everything and went home for a emergency weekend, basically 2 weekends ago, and now we're going back again this weekend for her sister's graduation. I'm just feeling super drained and tired lately, and work's been picking up, so I don't know. Luckily, the convention that these guys are coming out for is in a few weeks, but as far as what's happening right now, honestly, not much. Basically just watching some Lucifer and got some D&D coming up for the first time in weeks. Just like there hasn't been a podcast, we haven't been playing D&D. But yeah, not doing a lot. I might live stream, as of this recording today, or by the time this goes live, it'd be either today or soon. But yeah, I've been continuing my break from YouTube, and honestly, I feel like I'd be dead if I didn't take my break, so it's been nice, though, especially with all this YouTube drama happening lately. I'm like, thank God I don't exist on the internet anymore, because apparently it's shitty.
yeah, just a little bit apparently.
But yeah, not much going on. I do want to find a new game to play. I've been playing Oblivion a little bit for fun, Third Age for fun, but I don't know. I'm kind of looking
Play
for...
Sekiro, bro.
I gave up on Neo. I don't know if I'm in the
No,
mode
but
right now.
Sekiro
I want
is
to play
like-
it, but I don't know if I can deal with that frustration.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's
Sekiro is like, I mean, I never played Neo, but I've played Sekiro so far, and that's another game I'm playing, by the way. And it's if they were like, yo, Neo's garbage, play this.
Look, I get that I hard stopped on Neo when I stopped my recording session weeks ago. I just don't know if, like Freeman said, I don't know if I have it in me to learn and be frustrated by a new system game right now. There just seems like there's so much there, and I just don't know if I have it in me right now to deal with that. I want something just a little easier.
Don't be a fucking wuss, bro.
I don't know. I'm in a weird place right now. It's weird. But anyway, we're going to end the podcast because holy shit, it's almost 11.
Damn, everything's out of fucking
Jesus.
stock on this goddamn. Holy hell!
I was like,
Everything.
I can't spend $250 on this figure, but that shirt though looks pretty good.
I'm looking at this Wolf School writing set.
Yup.
That's gone.
Oh,
The
Tyler.
bracelet's gone.
Wait, is it really? Oh,
It's
I almost.
gone.
Oh, the writing set is so sick. Actually, it comes with a fucking coin and a notebook with these signs on it.
Yeah, nah, fuck you.
God
Yeah,
damn.
just making him
Gwen
jealous that he doesn't
signs
have
for
it.
you.
I set Tyler on a path to wish listing a fuck ton of stuff.
I know. I already put it in my other Discord. I'm like, yo,
Hell
you
yeah.
guys wanna get me this?
Oh, that mug. Is the mug sold out? Oh, Vesemir's mug is there. Vesemir's recipe for superior swallow. It's perfect. Anyway.
See, that's the thing. If I actually drank shit out of it, I probably would.
Yeah, I know,
Alright,
that's the
never
issue.
mind.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. We should definitely be back next week, assuming Val and I make it back from New Jersey again alive. We should definitely be back, and it'll be Game of Thrones spoiler cast probably almost the entire time because we're gonna have a lot to talk about with Game of Thrones. It's
See,
like-
you say talk about, but it's more like complain about.
Spoilers, spoilers already, spoilers.
Spoilers, pacing.
I don't
Boom.
know. Maybe the last episode will turn it all around.
You're a fucking liar.
Thanks for listening, everybody.